Chattisfying.
Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 1 of Chattisfying, a chat show. My name is Mellar. Today we are joined by guest host aMannus.
Ah, it's me. I can point back, right?
That way. No, other way.
No, shit.
And our special guest today, SirMagicPenguin.
Hello. Wait, I'm guessing that's up, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, that's good. Left and right confuses me. Okay, this is good.
Hello down
You
there.
do the little thing, and then left is the one that makes the L penguin.
No,
What
I
if
don't
you
want
did-
to put an L. No one's an L. Can I direct it towards me?
So today's topic, we're talking all about crowd control. I thought it was a rather genius, if you don't mind me tooting my own horn a bit, idea to have the person who streams the most crowd control I've ever seen, i.e. Penguin, and someone who actually set up shit for crowd control on the stream while we come to talk about crowd control. So, Penguin, do you want to talk a little bit about crowd control? Maybe let people know what it is who doesn't know already?
It basically, like, the viewers can, like, interact with the game, right? And, like, to me, I see it as more of, like, a challenge run where, like, you don't want people to completely derail the experience, but, like, about to, like, contribute, right? Because, like, I'm, like, in essence, I'm a challenge runner, right? Like, I used to, like, I started, like, Dark Souls doing, like, challenge runs. That's why I like to play the game in unorthodox ways. Because if you just played it, like, normal, just doing the exact same thing, I couldn't do, like, a speed run where I'm doing the exact same thing over and over again, because it would just drive me nuts, right? So it's one of those, like, adds in variety, right? And it, like, it means I can play the same thing, but have a different experience every time. Like, it's the same where, like, I really like competitive things. Like, every match you go against someone different. It's never like the same. Because I couldn't be one of those, like, it's like, oh, we're going for like this, like a world, like our record, but it's like the exact same. Because like it would just bore me. Do you get me?
Yeah.
What's the difference between crowd control and randomizers for you, then? Because, like, what you just said literally could have been just randomizers.
I mean, like, if you add in both, okay, there's two different layers, okay? It's like it's like a good cheesecake, you know? Like, it's got multiple layers to keep you guessing, you know?
Yeah, it's like an ogre. Like...
Yeah, exactly. And like, I would, like, I don't have to ask now, but I would want to ask how you're finding it, like, getting into it to begin with, because, like, the thing is with, like, crowd control is, like, some people can see it as, like, an additional challenge, right? But then some people just like, oh, just to mess with the streamer, just to, like to just be, like, generally just, like, nasty to the streamer. It's like, no, it's, like, it's a way to interact with the game, like, in a nice way, you know? That's what I find, like, the best way is, you know?
What I find interesting, though, is that not your first, like, thought is the viewer, like, interaction, because that's what I think of when I think of crowd control, right? Like, I do crowd control because there is, like, a separate layer for viewers that they can, like, interact and, you know, do stuff to your game.
Yeah.
But you're, like, more looking at like, the whole thing from, like, a challenge perspective, I guess.
I
like,
see
that's
it from
more
both
important for you.
angles, to be fair.
Okay.
Do you get me? Like, it's one of those things where, like, it adds in variety. Like, honestly, it benefits me as well as the viewer at the same time. So it's like a symbiotic relationship kind of thing. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because of,
you
like,
both hate each other at the same time.
No. Honestly, I love them, but obviously, when, like, people, like, spam a bit too much, it can be like, oh yeah, I just have to kind of wait. But, like, it is what it is. It comes with the territory every now and then, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really like the extra level of chaos.
Exactly.
I live for chaos. I think it's hilarious. I love playing now, and the more chaotic it gets, the more fun I'm having. Honestly, it's so much fun.
It's like variety, right? Because, like, what, like you're playing, like, let's say, like, Fallout, right? And you have to run to an area. Like, in the base game, you might see, like, a bug, right? Like, that's it, you know? Or maybe a deer which runs away from you. But, like, with crowd control, you know, there's stuff exploding everywhere. There's massive things. Okay, you getting guns, like, out the wazoo and all that. It's like, it's like, freshens everything up. Do you get me?
Does it ever get
Yeah,
overwhelming?
there's always, like, a lot happening.
Yeah. Does it ever get overwhelming for you at all?
Yeah, but it's all about the pricing. You know, when something's like too cheap and it can get spammed too. Like, I don't mind spam, but when it's excessive, then it's just like, okay, I need to kind of change this. So it's like, I like to fine tune stuff, right? So like between things, I'm just going, okay, this like maybe down one, this maybe up one, just to make it so it's like not too spammed, but like so it's compelling enough to still use. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because it's like one thing you have to avoid with it is like do nothing buttons. Like if there's a certain redeem which like you basically do nothing, it's not engaging for you. It's not engaging for the audience. It's just like it's just a bit. It can be a bit crap, you know.
It is kind of funny that you mentioned that though, because like as someone that did like a lot of the effects for like the Ship of Akinyan thing after the basis was already laid out, I guess. That's something like that I to talk about or think about like a lot as well, where the effects are like they're impactful. So like people, if they use them, they see something happening on the screen, but also something that is not just kill Link, right? Where it's just not, it's just like that's usually also there, but like you don't want stuff to just not.
Yeah, you want to encourage people to use the fun stuff and like disencourage the unfun stuff.
Yeah, or just even have stuff that might interact with each other, so people can find combinations to use them. And
exactly.
Like I think that's like low gravity and knocking someone back, for example.
Yeah, that one's completed by accident, but yes.
Oh, wait, did I just like dip for a second?
We all did one after another. I
you knocked this back, okay? I can't believe it.
It's a podcast CC coming up. Yeah, but it is kind of interesting because like I have so many crowd control games that are just not fun to play because like they have a lot of effects, but they all like make the game impossible to play. There's no like in between line where it's like something happens and I have no control of my character. Like there is something in between, but it's sometimes very hard to like reach that line because like you want it to do something, you want it to be recognizable for someone using the effect, but you also don't want to just complete the entire game. Like you said as well, like if people can spam something and you cannot do anything, like that's not fun, right? So it's fun to think about.
Yeah, I mean, what I will do is I'll just dial it back a bit. So for anyone who doesn't know what crowd control is, it's basically a program that you can download. It's free, although there is a premium version, and you can then have that connect with certain games, the list of which is getting gradually longer, so that the people in chat can make things happen in the game completely independently of the streamer. And there's coins that you can get, and the streamer can set how many coins each person gets every half an hour or whatever, and then they use those coins to make certain things happen in the game, and the streamer has control over how much everything is, how much each certain effect is, and which ones are available, but obviously they have to be programmed in by the people at crowd control. So what I was going to say about the different effects is because I've done a few Zelda games, and I really enjoyed Ship. I thought Ship was amazing. I'm really enjoying Twilight Princess because the chat can summon in enemies, and I think that's hilarious. It's so much fun to just be that, in a room maybe that you normally wouldn't expect enemies to even be, like the Temple of Time, for example. Enemies don't spawn there, and then suddenly you're just surrounded. It's hilarious.
That's one of the very good examples where it's like very dynamic though. Like where you use those enemies will change what those enemies are going to be for a player, right?
Yeah, exactly. But some of the other Zelda games like Majora's Mask and Wind Waker don't have the ability to spawn enemies. There's a big list of other things that people can do, but it just doesn't hit the same, in my opinion. Like, it is fun, but it's not as fun. Do
you want to know why that's the case?
I would love to know why.
So, as someone who because obviously it's my thing, right? So I like to keep in contact with the actual devs and all that. So the first thing they always do is they always try to do spawns first. That's the most engaging one every time. because it's like, you know, you're basically making an AI which you can interact with on another level kind of thing. And you could do like, you can fight stuff in where you're not meant to. But some games literally have them scripted to certain areas.
Right.
That it's just like, you can't just like, you can't just plop them in. Like newer games, you can. But like old games, like, they're like, this enemy was specifically scripted for this area a lot of the time.
Right.
And when you bring it over...
memory.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, it just causes like unnecessary lag and all that. And just like the second where like it causes lag, they're just like, okay, this isn't worth it, because like if like one of them causes a bit of lag, 20 of them will just crash the game, and like it's just not going to be fun, you know?
Yeah, that is something I had to bypass for Ocarina of Time as well. Basically, every room has like certain enemies loaded into memory, because they know that those enemies can spawn in those rooms. You can even see some problems with that in Master Quest. In Master Quest, there's a like in Fire Temple, I think. And if you get eaten by the like and kill it, normally it spits out your shield again, right?
Right.
But because that shield object is never loaded into that room, because it's just never in memory, it just doesn't spawn. So you can actually lose your shield in Master Quest in Fire Temple. Like, it's stuff like that. But like, yeah, I understand, especially the games that are old and also still on an emulator or like on a console. It's harder to do than like a PC port, right? Like, we have the option to do that and kind of bypass that. But
actually, Ocarina of Time is like perfect. Like, Ship is a perfect one, right? Because like it makes combinations which you never thought would happen. Because like Dark Link is one of those where like you just fight him in a room in vanilla, and it's just like that's it. Like, it's just a boss. But then you learn how weird Dark Link actually is.
He is weird.
Like, the whole, like, if he touches a like, it sucks you in no matter where you are. So, like, if anyone's seen it and, like, Link is, like, teleporting across the map for, like, no reason, it's because it's, like, Dark Link has touched a like, and he's been sucked across the universe.
Yeah, I understand as well that if Dark Link voids out, you void out as well.
Wait, is that a thing?
That's a thing, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how it was. I found that out actually before Ship was around. There was a Halloween mod for Ocarina of Time randomizer, like a Halloween thing on Mod Loader. It was really good, and that periodically spawned a Dark Link wherever you were, and yeah, we found that out to our detriment. I think in the Shadow Temple. He fell to his death.
Yeah, like Dark Link, they just got Link, and then they just kind of just made it an enemy. Like,
it's literally a copy of Link, and they even emulate button presses for Dark Link to make him move. It's wild. Like,
I love that stuff though. You know.
Yeah.
It's like in Ocarina where like there isn't really a skybox. It's just like a tiny little box around your camera, but it loads in behind everything else. Like Nintendo is still good. Don't get me wrong, but like I feel like they're not as ingenious with a lot of things, right? But then again, there's the paraglider in like Breath of the Wild. So like they still have like bits, but like the average game doesn't feel as clever with those tricks anymore.
I don't know.
Like they don't need to as well.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know. I missed it when they like proper tried to make like everything like, you know, like as good as it can be. You know.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard some interesting things about the ways that they made Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom work in terms of draw distance.
See, I can see that in those games, but like in the rest of them, like. If we're not talking about Mario or Zelda, they're just boilerplate games most of the time. Do you get me?
Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, God. I remember, like, I never beat it, right? Because, like, the FPS was so bad. And I remember where it was just like, you go to the school. It's like, oh, hey, kids, how's it going? And, like, you're, like, standing in the front, and then Timmy's in the back running at, like, 2 FPS.
Yeah. I remember that.
I mean, I haven't seen, like, a 9-year-old get arthritis, but, like, Jesus, that's inclusion, that is, you know?
Oh, you should have seen my review of Scarlet. I absolutely destroyed it, mate. I was just like, I want my money back.
Did you run it in 2 FPS to get like the proper feel for it? Like like your review?
I didn't need to. It's just like that automatically.
If you did the review in 2 FPS, that would have been really funny.
See, I think with Scarlet Violet could have really worked if you could do the gyms in whatever order you want. So like, let's say if you do one gym, you can go to like a different area and they would scale like up.
I agree. Yeah.
And get harder and harder and harder. So like, let's say if you wanted to be like, oh, you have like a mainly psychic team or whatever. That's what you want to go for. Yeah. You want to take out the bug one early or something. So you don't have to deal with like a high-level bug gym.
I completely agree, but I find it quite interesting that you said that, considering our second hot topic, because that would have made it open world.
Honestly, it could with Legends Arceus catching as well.
Yeah.
I do also find it funny that no matter what the starting topic is, we'll always end up trash talking Scarlet and Violet.
I mean, it's not hard, you know.
It's not hard. No, it's very easy.
I'm a massive Pokemon fan. Like, as a kid, I used to play all the time, right? Yeah. I wanted to be amazing because, like, when Pokemon went over to like GameCube with like Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, loved them, right?
Yeah,
absolutely loved them. I think Pokemon is one of those games which could actually work as an open world game. I'm not like against all open world games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, where they plop into games which don't need it, you know?
Yeah.
Do we need to just move on to the second topic, or are we done with CC, or?
We'll get there.
It's one of those things I could talk about for ages. Okay, I'm just warning you.
So, what made you decide to be pretty much exclusively a crowd control streamer, Penguin?
So, basically, in life, I don't really the thing is, I don't really plan ahead too much. I don't really know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So originally, I wasn't gonna become like a Dark Souls thing. Originally, right? But I was just like, it was a game with. I remember I started playing as a kid, like when it was on 360, right? I just basically did what everyone did at that age, like every kid. Like, you got your ass kicked, you rage quit, right? It's like, oh no, this game is poopy. I can't believe this. I'm not bad at games. I was bad at games. But I remember getting out the asylum, right? And then the guy was there. He was like, you basically like trash talked you. I was like, oh wait, what do you mean? Like, then I like started killing him, and then like he kept parrying me, and I kept spawning, dying to him, spawning, dying to him, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. But then as I think it was like a sub goal. I was like, oh yeah, we'll finally beat Dark Souls. It'll be like, haha, like streamer will be like, oh, he will rage. And I ended up falling in love with it. But that's kind of what I did with crowd control, because it was like one of like the special things. I was just like, you know what? I really like this. And then people liked it as well. And it kind of got to a point where like, it was like going on more and more days. It's like, it kind of felt odd to not do it. And I was just like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. I think that's probably a similar experience. Similar, not quite the same to what I had with crowd control. Because initially I only got it to do one very particular thing. I wanted to play aMannus' Chaos build, but with crowd control on. Partially because I thought it'd be funny, but also it was kind of a bit of an apology.
It was really funny.
It was an apology for my part in it. In a way. It's like,
yeah, you brought the chaos build to other people, so now you have to suffer yourself.
Exactly. But I had so much fun doing it. I was like, I've got to do the other Zelda games that are available, honestly, because this is too much fun.
When's Zelda 2?
No, the other 3D Zelda games.
He doesn't hate himself that much. Come on.
Exactly.
I've actually done that, and it's as bad as you think it is.
Jesus.
So then, really, my next question should be, why do you hate yourself, Magic Penguin?
Why do I hate Zelda 2?
No, why do you hate yourself?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. It's fine. It's just it's more of a challenge, okay? And if people want to see, okay, like Zelda 2, okay, it's going to be behind a big wall, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, but it can be done, Okay, you just have to grit your teeth. Okay, and just
did you actually finish Zelda 2 before you did it with crowd control, or was that like the first time you actually? Oh my god!
I've done a lot of first playthroughs with crowd control, and I feel like I haven't got the authentic experience, but I've definitely got a experience. Okay, like Red Dead 2, I don't remember how many horses popping out of the sky, but like honestly, it was a bold move.
It's definitely a unique experience. I will say, yeah. The whole crowd control thing is. Sorry, do you
no, go on.
Okay. I think crowd control really is something that you can't just get from anything else. There's obviously some games that have the Twitch integration, like Cult of the Lamb, that are like kind of similar to that. But they're always very predetermined. So like there's a viewer interaction. Choose now, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that you got.
It's normally like give resource or like that something spawned in with someone's name, but it just basically works the exact same, but gives like a slight benefit to the streamer. Normally, that's like normally the integrations. And Baldur's has a decent. Like, I'm tempted to play Baldur's. I'm not gonna lie to you because that's like the way people can pick choices. I know like the entire thing is gonna be like. Either like anything which can get me killed will be chosen, or if there's anything like sexy time that is like it's gonna happen, but it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but that will never lead to like having 20 enemies in a room, right? Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. The thing that the thing that you do with crowd control is just kind of like something you don't get anywhere else. There is like some very special things that people can do, like bits in certain games that people just made in their own time or whatever. But like that's why I'm going to crowd control. It's just something that offers something to the viewers, but also like as my own experience that you just can't get anywhere else, right? It's just not the same.
Yeah, and also I think it's worth pointing out how many games are available on it. I mean, we've only really talked about Zelda because mostly because that's our area of expertise, but I was surprised to see Power World was on it. Like it was either the day after or the 2 days after it came out, which was very impressive. I mean, I still can't believe that Deep Rock Galactic is on it.
Deep Rock is amazing on it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I tried it out with Shauno once. It was good fun. This is every now and then I see a game on there and I'm like, how? But it's brilliant. Like most of them are fantastic. I have to say, like this is very situational. Where I was this close last night to ending SirMagicPenguin's run for 10,000 points. I was this close. I have the points, and you were quite late in the run, but I was watching The Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, and by the time it had finished, you'd finished. If you were still alive,
what happened? If there was an update for it, right?
I have a small question for you, Mellar. What do we do with all the questions that people are putting in the redeems?
Well, I was just going to think about asking one of them because it was to do with CC. If you could have any game added to CC that isn't already on there, what would it be?
Oh, see, I was gonna go on about the way like I see CC is like chat is like the dungeon master thing, like in like there needs to be like a D&D style game which could like into like CC. That would be like perfect, right?
Like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
See, imagine if you could, right? Imagine if you like I don't know how if it would like be broken or whatever. Like it would be too difficult. But that would be like a really cool thing because they could be they could essentially be like a dungeon master, right? I've never played D&D. It's not really a thing in Britain unless it's not really over here.
It is over here, but I've also never played Dungeons and Dragons. But
it's one of those things where like it's like to get into it, you have to talk to like the really sweaty, smelly guy, and like the smell is just so like you're just like, maybe I'm not that interested. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay.
I don't think it's that bad, but I do think you have to just know the people that are interested in it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they smell.
Peg in your nose, you'll be fine. You know. You're not really a fan of vampires. I think they suck. I'm sorry. I can never be a vampire, okay? I can't live without Garlic, okay?
I call you on the sound effects, alright? I'm just making them for my own. Bloody hell, man. Jeez.
Wait, what's Stonk the Bear? wait a minute. I just realized I can actually have the audio of the stream.
Yeah, it would be a bit.
I mean, it'll be delayed, but I don't want to do that. But
oh god, I've been talking to Mellar as well. I can't listen to my own voice, man. Like I'd go mental, like in 2 seconds.
I feel like every streamer's like that, right? Where they hate their own voice.
I've gotten used to mine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you meant to get used to it. Like I keep thinking, like I want a voice like Markiplier, right, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know? Nice.
It's also possibly partially to do with the fact that I've worked in a call center for 10 years, and you have to listen to your own calls occasionally. It doesn't. It used to be like, oh, my voice, but it doesn't bother me at all anymore.
Just the customers say that, right? I mean nothing.
Oh, his voice. Oh no.
Who's this weirdo?
No, you should put on a voice, you know, like where they're like, it's like, oh, hello. It's like, hello, I have something for you. Like, just be like really epic, you know. It's like, just take my money.
This is the call center.
I'm Mellar! How can I help?
What's your problem?
Pick up the phone. The summer.
Okay, what were we talking about again?
Crowd control.
I tend to ramble a bit. So like, I don't know if it's like.
Have we got anything more? You mentioned obviously earlier, Penguin. You said that there's the randomizer is like one layer, and crowd control is like another layer of sort of chaos and things that are different that you like. Would you consider adding another layer, a third layer, or would that be too much?
It all depends, right? Because the thing is, when it comes to like, I mean, crowd control is a mod, and like mods can conflict, right? Like, if I could randomize just about everything, I would, because like I like variety, and it all depends what it is, right?
Right.
Oh, it's like, it's all about like, you know, in the moment, it's like, oh wait, I can do this, and then like then it like flows to me. It normally flows into me like about like 3 a.m. in the morning, which is annoying, but like it is what it is.
Don't you already have that extra layer though? You have like the screen effects and stuff in your redeems, right?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that was the idea. That's the idea, and also the redeems like purposely block stuff, so like they're meant to be a bit obnoxious because of like it's meant to block my vision as well.
I actually don't know that many streamers that play the game through OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but like like there's no delay, so like I was just like, why not? And I wanted to be like, it also lets me check exactly what's going on. So if there's something which like I don't like, I'm just be like, done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just scream at other people in my chat that don't notify me about stuff that's wrong.
I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
We just got a question from Chim. How much does Penguin enjoy Moon Crash Simulator, also known as Majora's Mask?
Honestly, Majora's is one of those games. At the beginning, I hated it, right? But the more I learn about it, the more I randomize, the more I make it like open, the more I enjoy it. It's really weird. Besides Stone Tower and Great Bay Temple, we don't talk about those, but it's fine. I used to think Stone Tower logic, right?
Yeah.
So like that basically it's not important in a run.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm to the point where I can add it back in. I'm still that tiny bit terrified. Like I think it's like Friday I'm gonna try it.
Ooh.
But like it's definitely gonna be an experience. One of those, like, I'm taking it like portions, and then eventually it's gonna be like very randomized. Like I like to take my time with it and like add in, if something's not fun in a run, I just don't add it in. Like some things at Ocarina which I just don't really find fun, like Master Sword Shuffled.
Mm-hmm.
I like it normally adds it normally makes a situation where you get the Ganons, right? Like you get to the end of the game, but you don't have the Master Sword. But like you have no idea where it is. You're just hoping where it's gonna be. And like I don't know, I can add in like some runs which are just a bit unfun at the end, or like it's like a really stupid check that you forgot, and then you know.
I mean, that's why the options are there, right? Like
exactly. I like the custom. Like, I don't like that just make everything random and just like just still hope for the best, like a luck simulator.
But like for Majora's Mask though, like your answer was more directed at like the randomizer, right?
Oh yeah, like for some
you
reason
find the game more fun.
Yeah,
no, but like
oh, go on.
You got to like know the game more, and that's why you find it more fun. But that doesn't really have like direct impact on what you think of the crowd control, right? Or is that like do you enjoy the crowd control more because you're more familiar with the game as well?
Oh yeah, like the crowd control can add in some really it's like doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke, right? I can't do a Pokemon run and not do a Nuzlocke because it always feels weird because of the thing is it adds in stakes, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you get an item, like you're thinking, like it creates like multiple it creates multiple situations where you have to think like, do I continue and risk a moon crash, or do I save, potentially lose some time, but it's saved? Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like it adds in like another layer where like it's like you have to like. The thing is, what I love in games is I love choices, right? I don't want the game to just play itself, okay? I don't want it to be like a Sony game where like you walk up some stairs, cutscene, okay? Then you walk down the stairs, cutscene. You know, I want the game to be as interactive as possible, okay? Yeah, but you get me, like a Sony game. Okay, that's what they all are, right? Like, they're just cutscene simulators.
There is a lot of them,
okay? Yeah. I just couldn't get into, okay? Because every time, okay, it was just like, oh, I'm a little kid. It's like, oh, we're on a journey. Yeah, I know, kid. Shut up, okay? Get in the boat. We're going, okay? Odin might be in the background, okay? But he's fine, okay? He can barely see you. He's only got one eye, okay? He's not going to notice you. But it's just like, I don't know. Sony games, like, in general, just I feel like they're overindulging in, like, cutscenes. And they're just like, just get to the game. Like, Jesus, you know?
Yeah, a lot of them are cinematic experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put it that way, I guess, yeah.
That's why I prefer like Nintendo, because like Nintendo's all about the gameplay, right? Because like you pick up a Mario game, Mario always feels good to control. Even like Super Mario 64, the amount of stuff you can do. Like I don't know if you've seen that. Someone
I don't agree anymore.
I know it's a bit jank, okay. It's old enough to drink, okay, and sometimes it feels like it has been drinking a ton.
Yeah, drinking a lot. Yep.
But like even now, the amount of stuff I can do is just like. Holy crap. This game is like, I played it as a kid, right? It was the very first game I beat. I like, whenever I hear like the end music, it tugs on my heartstrings. I don't know if that's sad to admit, but
no.
Sonic 1 was one of the first games I ever beat. Now I just feel old.
Wait, what was?
Sonic 1 on the Sega Master System.
I've never played a Sonic game. Actually, I never played a 2D Sonic game. I've only played Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm the other way around. I've only played the 2D ones. I've never played any of the 3D ones.
You gotta play Sonic Adventure 2.
Why?
It does have CC as well.
Every Sonic game I've played was just crap, so I'm not going to say anything.
Sonic Forces was great.
I want to know, aMannus, though, because you said I don't feel that way now about Mario 64. What happened?
We did an archipelago where it randomized the moves, so you had to do things in like slightly different ways than normal.
Yeah.
And when you can't just grab onto ledges and you have to do like a side flip on like a small platform or something, suddenly that turning radius of a fucking Cybertruck like makes a lot of like noises.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to like he's standing here and you want to turn around, it's like this goes all the way that way. It's like, come on, just turn around, man.
I thought you could you can turn on a dime as long as you stop completely and only like feather the control.
But you have to stop completely, right?
And also you have to like directly 100% 180 degrees the other way than he's standing, because otherwise he's still gonna do this.
Right.
Like, it's so annoying, man.
That's so funny.
It gets into like territories sometimes where it feels like you're playing Resident Evil. You know,
Resident Evil.
Yeah, like,
because of the turning
controls,
radius. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I didn't like the tank controls in Resi, honestly. Like, I remember playing trying out one of the older ones. I was like, I don't like this move at all. You know, I feel like it's like grandma trying to like fend from like bandits in a house or something. You know,
aMannus, haven't you played Mario 64 Village?
Village. No.
Can you imagine? Like Resident Evil, but Mario characters?
Oh, I thought more like the Goombas would be like zombies or something. That's what I was thinking.
That'd be amazing. And Peach could
be
like the old woman.
It exists. There's quite a modern community behind it, man.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be too funny. So, bringing it back to crowd control, would you say that doing crowd control has helped you sort of grow, I suppose, as a streamer?
It lets you one thing I really like is like interactivity, right? Because at the end of the day, like what makes TV different to like Twitch or something is interactivity, right? And like, the part I'm really worried about is like if you get like really big, right? It's just like, will it lose its magic? And I hope it doesn't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's like the difference to me. Like, you can interact with everything, and like it kind of changes it to like a different thing, and you can make like more communities instead of like. You can know people on like a deeper level than just like, oh, I like to watch his content, right? You know?
Yeah, you can really see them cry and like, it's brilliant.
They're happy tears. It's fine.
But do you think like that it's at least now it still has like the same charm as when you started? Because like obviously you have grown a little bit since you started playing with crowd control, right?
Yeah, like some things. People will get like a meta, like which certain things will get spammed, which like people will find the most efficient way to kill, which can get a bit thing where it's like used over and over again.
Yeah.
But also like you'll see like in like a macro sense, like a certain methods evolve where certain people like to do certain things, and then like the change in the prices kind of changes up the vibe of everything. Do you get me? And like sometimes I just change prices like on the go to like encourage something more. Like let's say if like, oh, I'm seeing too much of this enemy, I put it up, and then I'll put it back down when I'm just like, okay, I'm not too bored of that one enemy in particular. Do you get me? I love how
it makes sense because considering like you play the same game a lot as well, like not like in a row or whatever, but obviously because you stream that much, you have like a lot of Majora's Mask and a lot of OOTs and a lot of Twilight Princess streams and stuff with crowd control. Like I can totally understand that you also just want to find like other like ways to enjoy that, right? Which you can kind of indirectly do by just changing the prices. Like, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of like shift the meta in certain ways. Obviously, like some people, like you don't want to like change it too much because like some people might get annoyed by it. But like if something's in particular getting like, you don't want to get like the same thing over and over again. That's the main thing, because like you want variety, and the second where the variety's gone, it kind of like loses magic, and like you just like kind of like spruce it up, and also like with the wheel, like where stuff goes like cheap, stuff like that, will like change the gameplay up. Do you get me?
Would you recommend crowd control to other streamers?
It depends. It depends on the person.
Yes.
Right. So, I wouldn't recommend it for like hyper competitive people. Like if they were just like, I'm a bit competitive. I'm not gonna lie to you because I do want to beat the seed, right? But like if I've seen some people get like really annoyed like really fast, like they're on a really short fuse. It's like it ain't for you, right? But like, if you're one of those where like you're going in with like an open mind and you're just having fun and you want to see something different, I would highly recommend it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely like a switch of mindset, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way. And like I've noticed a lot of people see it like a lot of streamers in particular see it like really toxically. So it's just like, oh, it's all about trolling the streamer, right? Like it's all about making the streamer like miserable. That is not like a healthy mindset. That is not like you won't stick with it, right? Because if you did, like, if you just don't enjoy it, don't do it, right? It's as simple as that. And some people are just like, I feel like some people do it just to be like, for like maybe like clout or something, because like that's a thing to do, right? And I don't like, I know like with the Zelda 2, like sometimes you like do it like every now and then, like it makes sense, but like it's like you like they're just like, oh yeah, this stream's gonna be crap, chat's gonna make it crap. Like that's not a healthy mindset. You're like, I see it as like a way to like change up the run, like I said, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I've definitely seen people that wanted to try it because they saw other people having fun with crowd control and just absolutely hating the experience.
Yeah,
because like they weren't ready for like how to deal with that, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Because like Ocarina of Time works like really differently. Because honestly, if I played vanilla Ocarina of Time, like dealing with enemies in rooms, like they would probably die instantly. Because like the amount of stuff I have to deal with is like if I'm playing vanilla, just wouldn't feel right at this point, you know, because I'm just like, oh, this room is supposed to have like 5 different iron knuckles, you know, like, oh, wait a minute, the room's over in about 10 seconds. It feels weird, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it's a challenge, as you said.
Yeah, I've definitely observed that with certain streamers not necessarily liking crowd control as much as others.
Actually,
I want to ask you, Mellar.
Yeah.
What game would you want to have? Like,
your horns are green. I was gonna ask this right away. How are you finding it?
Oh, I don't know. Actually. Well, the one at the moment I kind of want on there is Breath of the Wild, and I know that there technically is one, but it looks really complicated to set up.
I think it's actually done through the console.
Yeah.
Not through the obviously I don't emulate Nintendo, don't forget that. Okay, but I think it's actually done through the console, and it's just like that's so much of a pain that like
that's curious.
I looked up the instructions of how to get it going, and it was literally pages. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm not sure if I want to like even start with this. So my answer is basically that, but make it so that it's
easier.
It's easier because honestly, like some of them are really easy to set up. It literally you click on the game that you want, and you just click on a couple of buttons to set it up, and it sort of sets itself up, minus the ROM. But we're not going to talk about that part. And it's so easy to set up for pretty much everything that I've tried to set it up with. But then I looked at Breath of the Wild, and it just looked like a nightmare. It really did. So yeah, that would probably be my answer. What about you then, aMannus?
I've never really had the feeling that I was missing something from like a crowd control game. I haven't even like exhausted the ones I would like to try out at some point. Obviously, I want to add more stuff to the ship one myself, but I need more time to like devote to that. Like I've talked to Penguin about this before. This is something that never like left my mind. I really want to make it so you have an option for control spawn enemies to not matter for clear enemy rooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like
that could be one annoying thing because it does break some rooms, like the fire dancers.
There's a lot of like soft locks that can happen for like enemies going out of bounds or whatever because they're obviously not meant to be in certain rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
And the second thing is RHS made a name tag system for ship, and I think he ported it to 2 ship now as well. But I want to have the enemies have the username of like the person that redeemed it. That cool. I think would be like really fun.
That would be amazing.
That'd be really good.
It's not really a new CC game, but that's the stuff that I would like to do for ship, which might happen between now and the heat death of the universe.
Well, I'm waiting eagerly.
Yeah, I know you are. You've let me know it several times.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting point, because the sort of kill rooms, I normally call them, it definitely makes it very difficult sometimes, doesn't it? Because if someone spawns loads of enemies in a kill room, you kind of fucked unless you kill them all. And if someone spawns cuckoos, then you're definitely fucked, because there's nothing you can do about that normally. It's a restart or a death or whatever, like no matter what. So.
See, that's what, like, one thing I like about Twilight as well. Like, Twilight, you only have to kill the required things.
Right.
So you can make the price of, like, the spawns cheaper.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, you can have them cheap, and it's just like, oh, if it's getting too much, you can just, like, gun for the specific enemy.
Right.
Yep.
And I feel like that would make a lot more, like, that would add in a lot more dynamic choices. Do you get me?
Yeah, definitely. That'd be very cool. I didn't know that about Twilight Princess, because I'm quite early in my run, so thank you for that.
Oh no, trust me, you'll find out about that very soon. If you want, I can teach you how to deal with some enemies as well, in particular, like the iron. No.
Let him struggle for a bit. You'll figure it out.
I won't teach the tricks for the trade.
Let me know which enemies are the most annoying to deal with. All right.
Oh, you'll know.
What are they called in that game? They're called Dark Nuts, aren't they? Dark Nuts.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of things you can do to like kind of make them trivial.
Right.
But I'll let you work that one out.
Thanks. All right.
Hot topic.
Oh god.
Well, I should say this is SirMagicPenguin's hot topic. I'm going to read this verbatim. Elden Ring DLC is overrated, and the Souls genre is going in a bad direction. Explain yourself.
So, I feel like one thing with Elden Ring I really didn't like is when you get to like the end game, the quality absolutely tanks, because I feel like they made the game too big. That like, because if you make the game too big, you have to check everywhere. It adds in like so much more development time, right? And I can, as a soul, like I don't know if I'm the only one, but once you get to like the city part, like specifically like there's this draconic knight thing, which is like such a terrible boss. The game chugs just bad boss at you like constantly, and they're all like really hyper tuned. Like they're not interested in the slightest, but they will probably one shot you because like the level, like it feels like. Do you know when you get like you're in like an RPG, like a Final Fantasy, right?
Right.
And you're in one area. It's like level 15 or something. And then suddenly you're fighting level 30s and you just get one-shotted. Technically, it's possible, but like the odds are so stacked against you that it just doesn't feel satisfying. And whenever you kill anything, like a boss, you're more like relieved it's over because you don't have to fight that boss anymore. And it's just like, it wasn't engaging because of like, it was just the game just being like, oh, we don't want you to beat this fast, right? Because of like the cover up. It feels like they're trying to cover up bad game design. Personally, like I like the game before the city, and I was debating where I was like, when I was like the thing to do speedruns up until that point and just don't complete the game because of like Draconic Knight, like a horse knight, fire giant, like. Foreskin duo. Okay, I don't call them Godskin because they're the absolute dick of a fight. Okay, but then there's like Elden Beast. Like they're all like if I was doing like a top 10, okay, it would just be like Better Chaos and then all four. Okay, they are like they were no fun the entire time I was fighting them. Okay, like I was just like this is just dire, you know.
But is that a problem of an open world game or just a game that is too ambitious?
It depends because you can balance the game around certain things, but like Elden Ring, I feel like they're balancing it around like the hyper nerds where like they'll like absolutely grind every single area, and it's like as someone who wants to be like I always look for value, right? So like if something's not really, I don't feel like it's wasting my time, I just won't do it. Do you get me? Like I won't be like there just like hoarding everything. like, but I feel like the game is designed that way because like the level hike is like, oh yeah, you've done everything, right? It's like, no, I haven't, and it's just like, I feel like it's, I get like that's what the way they wanted it to do, but like, it makes me want, and I know this could be like spicy if there was like a difficulty setting, because if you're gonna be like that, okay, like honestly, can I just not deal with that, like getting one-shotted constantly? Like doing a fight and then just getting one-shotted and just like starting over again just because he has overinflated stats. It's like, it's just not satisfying to me.
I thought, as someone who doesn't really do Souls games, I kind of thought that was the point of the Souls games, though.
There's a certain balance, right? Because of like getting one or two, like getting free-shotted feels fine. But getting one-shotted feels like garbage. Right. Like, it's a fine line, because you don't want to... It feels like if you don't grind, you have to do a hitless run. And hitless runs definitely hit differently, because the amount of stress it puts on you is just like... And also, Elden Ring does like this thing. So it's a direct, like... It's a direct consequence of Dark Souls 3, because Dark Souls 3, a lot of people complain because like, you could just roll spam, and it like worked a lot of the time. It's like with Sekiro where you could like parry spam, like block spam. So they made certain moves. I don't know if have you played Elden Ring?
I'm an expert in Elden Ring.
Do you know when you're fighting them and then they stop mid-swing, right? That takes me out of the game. Because of like, imagine you're dueling someone, okay, and then they do that. You just jab them, and it's over, you know? But because they have hyper armor, you can't do that. So it's like, to me, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm playing a video game. And I hate when that happens. I can see like the puppet master with his strings. And I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a video game, and they specifically want to like catch you out in a roll trap. It's just like, and it makes learning every fight to me tedious because of like there's different timings with the roll trap. So it's where I'm just like, you can't really take in your general knowledge. You just have to know when the timing is, and like every single boss to me was just like, oh, I feel like I need a notepad here, you know? It's just like, and it just made it so like whenever I fought a new boss, I wasn't excited. I was just like, oh God, how many times like do I need to just randomly die until I learn the timings? Like it just felt like really unfair going in. Like
it's very much trial and error at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like, you know.
You're
like,
not getting better at the game. You're learning the specific boss's patterns.
Yeah, exactly. And you just have to deconstruct the fight, and then it just loses its magic. And it's like, it feels like homework to me, you know. Right. It's just like, I don't want to have to study your game. Like I'm a bit on the casual side. And it's just like, I don't want to have to dedicate all my time towards this game. Like, you're not like, it doesn't feel like it's respecting my time. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's breaking up the flow because it wants to break up the flow. But that flow is usually what's fun about these games. It's like
exactly, because of with the footage later, well, you played Dark Souls, right? Wait, is that where the name comes from? It's right.
What?
aMannus, the boss, is that where it comes from?
I don't know.
AMannus is his real
name. I've never played Dark Souls.
Oh, wait, I thought you did. I thought you did with the name.
No, my name is actually AMannus. It's crazy, I know.
But with I got some footage for later, and it's just the perfect example of what I find amazing with Dark Souls is where it just feels like a duel where you both get turns and all that. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it feels like you're dueling them on an equal level, but I feel like Dark Souls is moving more and more away to be the boss gets more and more advantages while you lose stuff. The amount of hyper armor, it just doesn't feel it doesn't feel like I'm dueling an enemy. It feels more like I'm just playing a game to me. Do you get me? Like I'm not really getting immersed in the world anymore. You know?
Would you say, therefore, I don't know if this is mean, but do you feel like the difficulty of the game is moving away from your ability?
It's not really like a difficulty, and then like it feels like artificial difficulty, right? Because it's like with like the roll traps, you can tell the devs want to catch you out. They want to be like that guy. Because that's what the average person will do. But like, it's like, oh no, we caught you out. Haha, like we tricked you. But like losing a fair fight feels amazing, right? But like getting tricked out of a victory feels like garbage, right? Yeah. I used to play League for ages, like, right? And it's like going against like someone who's fed and like you just die. It's just like, oh yeah, that felt like garbage. But like when you're on the same thing, you're like going back and forth, like it's super close. My heart is racing, right? And I want to feel like that, but Elden Ring just didn't. Like I'm trying to think of like a single like. Margit is like probably the only boss which I actually felt anything. Like Margit is like a really fun boss, and the rest of them just like they just feel like they're too spammy. Do you get me? Because they used to have like a stamina system to the bosses. So if you notice in like in the old Souls games where like they just randomly walk, it's because they used up all their stamina. But Elden Ring removed that. And then you suddenly get like the 16 hit combos. Like if they added a stamina system, like the game would get like so much better because it would feel like you have turns, right? Instead of like, oh, can I play the game yet? Do you get me?
Like actual openings that you can
exactly. Like
make use of.
I'm not saying Elden Ring's a bad game. Like it's not. All right. Like so like From Software is like they know what they're doing, but I feel like they're tailing it too much towards like the no-hitters, trying to catch them out, that they're kind of forgetting about the casuals who like kind of just want to have fun, you know? Like, I feel like they're just kind of ignoring that side of the community where it's just like, I just want to go in and I just want to fight some hard bosses, please. I don't want to have to like do all this crap, you know?
So to me, this still feels very much like the biggest issue that you have with these bosses is the trial and error pod.
Yeah,
exactly. I think this is something that feels bad in like every game. Like if you have a platformer where you cannot see a pit below you, but you do have to jump down to hit like a platform that you just can't see beforehand, that will feel bad.
I actually had this exact problem.
Like I was playing like Super Metroid, the other thing, and like there's so many like hidden walls in it. That I was just like, oh no, I don't like this stuff because like
it's shoot every wall.
Yeah, you just have to like just trial and error it and just go against every single wall, and you just like, can you give me a hint? Like make a little crack in, like a little hint, so like I could be like I can flow through it organically instead of like just having to like go like I can't like a point and click game, right? Where you have to find that magic pixel, right? I never played those point and click games. I'm so glad, okay? But like, if I had to do that, I would lose my mind, okay? It's like, oh wait, I couldn't see the pixel or something, you know?
But that's basically your roll traps, though, right? Like the roll traps are things you before you start your roll, you literally cannot know that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and like,
you have to learn.
It just stops. Like they stop their swing mid-swing, and it's just like it just looks goofy as well. Like one thing, like thematically, it just looks goofy because like you wouldn't do that. Imagine if you're like you boxing, okay, and you go like that, like mid thing. Like no one does that because you wouldn't have force behind that punch. Like it should hit like a wet noodle, you know?
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Go on.
Wait, go on.
I was going to say about what Manus said about trial and error. I actually, it's one of the reasons why, because I know that you like Mario Odyssey, but one of the reasons why I fell out with Mario Odyssey really hard is because a couple of the bosses, especially the last boss, the Bowser boss, it very much felt like it was just set up for you to learn it by trial and error, and that the only way to win was basically to die and then figure out how to avoid it next time. He didn't seem to telegraph his attacks at all, so it seemed to me that you're just expected to die and to go, okay, well that's what he does, I'll remember for next time, and that isn't good boss design. That pissed me off.
The telegraphing is the main thing because of like it's just like trial and error. You just feel cheated out of things. It's like it's just because the game wanted you to die.
Yeah,
right.
And the thing is that Mario, like a death in Mario, doesn't even matter, whereas a death in Elden Ring absolutely fucks you up, doesn't it?
Not really.
Does it not? Well, it can do, but I thought it just really annoyed me. So I can only imagine what that would be like in a game like Elden Ring. So
yeah, the thing is, like, the penalty doesn't really matter if the whole experience of a boss is that trial and error. Like, it will never feel good. It's the same as like crowd control effects in games. Not the software, but like being stunned for 3 seconds never feels good. Doesn't matter what would happen. It's the same with trial and error. It's and if like whole bosses are designed like behind trial and error, it's not, you're not getting better at the game. You're like what Penguin said, you're gonna have your notepad out and you're getting better at memorizing the fight.
Yes,
that's not playing a video game.
It feels less organic and more you're learning a routine. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Where it's just like you're not really like Dark Souls 1. You get skills at the beginning, and then all the bosses are like kind of do similar stuff. So you kind of like take those skills into the late game, and you could one-shot a boss because of like, oh, I've seen this before, right? Like a perfect thing is like Gwyn at the end, right? Is you can parry him, right? But he has the exact same parry timing as the knights in the game. So if you learn how to parry the knights, you can parry Gwyn. And like it feels really satisfying because like, oh yeah, I learned this earlier and now it's all coming together. Like I like bosses, like the final bosses, where it's like they take every skill you've learned and like kind of like be like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that, you know, like it's like, oh, I know this skill from earlier, and then it all come together in like, you know, like from all your experiences, you use them at the end. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's growth, isn't it? You like personal growth. You have grown, therefore you can complete this game.
And you feel like you've improved as like it. You get like a power fantasy from it, like if anything. Do you get me?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Absolutely. So do you think then that when whatever the next Dark Souls game comes out, or another DLC, for example, do you think they're going to continue down this road?
Dark Souls 3 started going this way. So one thing Elden Ring did as well is there was a boss, okay, in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, like I appreciate more after playing Elden Ring, right? But Dark Souls 3 added in the last DLC a certain Slave Knight Gale, right? And everybody loved the fight. So it basically was like that, right? It was like it took in everything. It was like a harder fight. It had like loads more health, but it justified the health. But what I feel like is because everybody loved that fight, they tried to go to Elden Ring and made every fight that fight. But once everyone's Gale, no one's Gale.
No.
Do you get me?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So what I've seen from the DLC in Elden Ring, they're definitely going that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like they want everything to be like the epic showdown, but like if everything's the epic showdown, nothing's the epic showdown.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's just a normal fight. It's just like, I don't know, like if anything in Dark Souls, you kind of need some lame fights, right? Like some fights are absolutely like so lame that they make the other fights look better. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And you like that's like it makes that boss stand out more. You know, it's just like, you know, like what in Dark Souls where you fight like this fire sage thing. It's like a basic enemy. It's like, oh, that was pretty lame. And then you go against something else. It's like, oh wait, that was better than that one. You know. And then like you go against Artorias, and it's like, this is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I think generally a developer isn't going to want a dud boss in their game, but I know what you mean by like they don't all have to be these sort of bombastic sort of end boss things, because if you kind of exhaust someone with all that like, oh, this is amazing, well, I'm only quarter of the way through the game. By the time you're halfway, you're like, I'm exhausted. You know, this doesn't mean anything to me anymore. you know, like a story has to have a climax. You can't have like a massive climactic moment every like 10 minutes.
Imagine Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like the slow pacing and all that, imagine if it was just like, I don't really know Lord of the Rings that much, right? But do you know like the walled city and like there's loads of orcs and it's like an epic moment?
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened every half hour.
I've actually because the fight with the big spider actually happens at the end of the second book, but the people that made the made it were like, we can't have that massive sort of big moment happen at the same time as the walled city, the Helm's Deep, the first walled city that they fight in.
That's the one.
So they moved it into the third movie. It's exactly that reason. You can't keep that like high octane, like the heart pumping for all that time. It just doesn't, like, the heart can't do it. It's physically impossible, and people just switch off after a while.
Yeah, it gets boring because like you want to get something new, like you want to get like the ultimate thing. But if you get if you get it all the time, it's just like it's just an average thing. Like the game just mellows out, and I was for me, Elden Ring, like it just mellowed out. It's just like you don't need to make these fights like this. You don't have to like try to make these fights as epic as they are, because like once everything's epic, nothing's epic.
Yeah.
You know, I know I keep saying that, but like you get what I mean, you know?
Yeah, I definitely.
I do still kind of wonder how the open world aspects like built into this though, because I feel like any complaint that you've had so far can still be solved within the open world concept. Like you can still have optional areas that are truly optional in an open world game. You can still have like bosses that aren't like excruciatingly painful to play, like in an open world game, right? Like, is this like really the fault of the open world, or is this just the fault of just the general?
No, it's I kind of went on about just the general design, but like the open world can work, but the only thing is like it depends what the dev wants you to do, right? Like I said, like with the they expect you to 100% the game, right? I prefer open world games where they don't expect that of you.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like you can kind of like free flow between places, but like Elden Ring feels like there's very much they want you to go in a certain direction, which like is why even add the open world in like in general if they want you to go in like optional. A certain way, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if they made like, I mean, screw it, make stats not matter as much, right? Like do something like that, and like you get like a tiny bit stronger. So like you can kind of go into like you can free flow into areas more, but like it almost felt like an MMO at times. You know, where you go to like the wrong area, you get one-shotted by a boar, right? And it's just like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm just gonna go. And it's
the level
like,
50 boar.
Exactly, and like, it kind of like spits in the face of like what open world like open world should be, right? And it's just like, is it really that open if it just feels gated? You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's just like, I don't know. Like open world games can work. Like I can't imagine like an Elder Scrolls game not open world. Do you get me? It just wouldn't work. You know, like, and like I said, like Pokemon could work in open world, but like it's just when like games go open world just to be trendy. Do you get me? And then they have wide open spaces, and you have about like 5 different things to do, and that's it. Yeah, right.
They feel very empty a lot of the times.
Yeah, and they're just copy and pasted a lot of the time. Like Elden Ring, the amount of copy, like, it's well made, but the amount of copy and pasted is insane. Like every single mine, every single one of those like weird gargoyle things, I just didn't do them because I was just like, this is the same stuff over and over again. They're all the same. Like they're just all the exact same thing. It's like the soldiers, right? Which is randomly there. They're all the exact same soldiers. There isn't like different factions with like different weapons. They all use the exact, like they all buy their weapons from the exact same vendor. And it's like, give one like a like nothing nothing crazy, but like give one like European like straight swords and all that, and give one like the curved swords, right? That's all I'm asking. But like, I feel like the scope of the game made them do that to fill out the world, which like so many of these games can't, like I can get fall into that trap. It's like, and then like the enemies just kind of come like a bit like come across a bit bland. Breath of the Wild, I know you I know you liked it, but Breath of the Wild is one of the worst examples for that. The enemy like variety is absolutely awful,
and they feel like
they kind of just like plopped in. Do you get me?
Yeah, no, I noticed that actually about Tears of the Kingdom. Not so much the overworld, but the depths. Like, there's so many little enemy encampments in the depths, and they're all the same. It's like after you've
feel like they're just there to like content.
Yeah,
you know.
There's about 3 different shapes that the enemy encampment can be, and that's about the only difference. And there's like hundreds of them across the depths, and they're all basically the same. So by the time you've defeated 3 of them, you've defeated all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Funny thing is, for me, you just describe like Skyrim. Like I've heard like Reddit posts or Reddit posts. You know what I mean. There was Reddit posts about people saying like, "Oh, X found this cave. I've never seen this cave," and I was like, "Who cares?" Because this cave is going to be the exact freaking same as all the other caves. I really don't like exploration in Skyrim for that exact reason. It's always the exact same experience.
Yeah, just maybe a slightly different skin on the cave.
Did you ever play Oblivion?
Yeah, it's a blue cave instead of it. Yeah, I did. I liked it more than Skyrim.
I same. Yeah, like the level scaling was like scuffed as hell. But like, other than that, because it was smaller,
all right,
but there was more going on, right?
Yeah, it felt livelier.
You would go along the path, and then you get attacked by bandits or whatever. But you go along a path in Skyrim, you don't see anything. You just like it's just you walking, because like everything's so spread out. Like open world games, I feel like they're making the scope too big, to the point it's just like, can we just make the maps about 3 times smaller instead of being I feel like they're going further and further, with they're trying to sell stuff. It's like, oh, the game is like blah blah blah. The map is so big. I haven't heard them say that in ages, and I feel like they're going like way too big on the maps. Like, make them more compact. Make them more compact. Make them you walk for like 2 minutes, you find something. Do you get me? Instead of just like, oh, I might find something. I don't know. Like Oblivion to me, it was like. There was something around almost every corner, right?
Yep. Yeah, I actually agree with this. I kind of expected to disagree with your points on open worlds are bad, but this part, I definitely agree.
We've moved on to that already, have we?
Bad, but like the trends are bad.
Okay, fine. The thing is, this has been happening for like 10 years in open worlds. Like this is not something new, and I think that like really changes for me what a good open world game is as well. It's like how not empty they feel.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are very big examples for me. They feel very empty. There's a lot of open fields where literally you can see this grass for like a kilometer, and that for me feels like making a space very big for the sake of this is a big space. It's like exactly. Okay, fun, but like
I
just want to do something.
I never really felt that when I played Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. You might be in an area where in the immediate vicinity you don't have much in terms of enemies or something like that, but it always felt like there was something. You're always heading towards something. There's always something on the horizon to do, and it's so easy to get distracted because there's so much to do. So yeah, maybe like the physical area is empty, but there's at least there's things that you can do, to play the game.
Yeah, there's like something in the distance that you just like, oh, there's content, and you're traveling towards there, right?
But it might not necessarily take that long to get there. Is kind of my point.
But what if that area was like 10% of the size, but it still had that one thing where you're actually going towards? Would it change anything in like what you can do in that area?
Well, I think the thing with those games, I remember seeing a thing about every time you reach a point, it's supposed to show you, it's supposed to be 3 points or something.
3 landmarks.
3 landmarks that you can go to.
Yeah.
If the map was too small, you would have too many things that you could do on the screen at once, and that could get overwhelming. So at least if the map is big, it kind of means that then whenever you sort of crest a hill or something, there's only a few things that you can see that you could do. Whereas obviously if everything was much closer, maybe it'd be more like 5 or 8, at which point you'd be like, well, which way do I go then? So I can kind of see the argument for it needing to be bigger rather than smaller, just purely so that there's not too much to do in a small place.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, one thing that like some games do, like Forspoken was garbage, right? They had like this little mini game where like if you did it right, you get like speed boosts. Like, I feel like they need to make movement really fun. If the Breath of the Wild, but the movement was really fun, like the paraglider is great, right?
Yeah.
But like if they made like other abilities to like so you like zooming around or whatever, I feel like that would like make the in-betweens like there's something. But like they just feel like especially in Breath of the Wild, they feel like placeholders where it's just like, oh yeah, but the content's over there. But like you're always just running towards the content, and like when you think about like how much downtime there is, there's like in like a really high percentage.
Yeah, it's like half and half.
Yeah, exactly. Like half the time you're going like, oh, you're going through like to content.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild did something like where you could see something like this, and that's really good design. Like I love that, and you build the excitement. I don't know.
I mean, it's always like an objective thing as well. I think like people that don't mind that downtime are gonna feel a lot better about that as well. Like Wind Waker is divisive as hell, like probably for the same reason. Some people despise the sailing, the other people like actually love it, right? Like it's
like exploring.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, but for some others, like it feels like waiting, right?
Yeah, so, I can see it being like therapeutic to people as well. Do you get me? Like, so that
yeah, the same people that play like Supermarket Simulator. It's like, why do you play this?
Or like Power Wash. It's like I don't understand.
See, I've never played it, but I'm pretty sure I could play Power Wash and enjoy it. But maybe that's the trick. But
that's why you enjoy Wind Waker as well, probably.
Maybe. If you like Power Wash, you will enjoy Wind Waker.
I mean, they both got water, you know.
Yeah.
You might like Sunshine. Actually, I don't know if you will. Not many people do, apparently. Besides me.
I actually agree with Ryan on this, but these two don't. I used to hate open world games. I used to think it was because open world games were bad, but it just turned out that it was because I hadn't played a good one yet. I remember
there's always that one which might like change your mind, you know.
Yeah, I remember playing a few, but the one that really sticks out was I tried Metal Gear Solid 5, and this was after really enjoying Metal Gear Solid 4. And Metal Gear Solid 4 is like the opposite of an open world game. It's a very linear sort of what you were talking about Sony, and I really liked this. It's very much it's very sort of video cinematic kind of centric kind of game, and you're sort of playing the game between these massive long cinematics, and I love that. That's totally my jam. I love playing a game that feels like a long movie if it would be a good movie, and Metal Gear Solid 4 absolutely would have been an amazing movie. I really enjoyed playing that game. I loved it. I mean, the once you've defeated the final boss, the end video is an hour and a half long, for crying out loud. Yeah, exactly. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. So I played Metal Gear Solid 5, and the first hour and a half of Metal Gear Solid 5 is very much on rails. It sort of takes directly from the same cup as Metal Gear Solid 4. I thought, this is brilliant.
It's in a hospital, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's brilliant. And then it sort of opens up and it goes, okay, go play in this open world landscape and do what you want. And I was like, oh. And you're in this desert, and you basically get quests, and the quests are all the same. They're always save this hostage from this town, get this thing from this town, or kill this person in this town. All the towns are exactly the same.
Are we talking about Metal Gear or Assassin's Creed?
Well, but I'm talking about Metal Gear 5, and it also didn't help the fact that the area that you're in is a desert. And it was so dull. It was like every single quest was exactly the same. Every single side mission was exactly the same. And by the time I was about 3 hours in, I was so bored that I quit. And that really just that exemplified, that wrapped up my entire open world experience for quite a long time, because I'd had other similar experiences with other games, like very relatively short experiences where I'd given it a go and I was like, no, this is boring, because a lot of open world games do seem to be like that. And then I played Skyrim, and Skyrim I quite enjoyed, if I'm honest with you. I kind of got it. You sort of, you get a quest, it takes you to a place, and then there's lots of quests in that place that you can do. So then I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll like Breath of the Wild, and I loved it. It really just, it just talked to me in the right way. It's, it sung to my exploration. Everywhere I went, it was different, or at least it felt different. I suppose is probably the more, because it probably isn't actually that different if you really
but like a change of scenery can change how you feel about area like so much.
Exactly, and it felt varied enough. I totally take your point about the fact that there's nowhere near enough enemy variety, by the way. That is a very fair point, but just in general, like, the game felt varied enough that I just really enjoyed being in that world and doing what that game expected me to do, in a roundabout way. And that changed my mind about open world games. I kind of realized that it wasn't open world games I disliked, it was just bad open world games that I disliked.
Yeah, the ones with no passion. Because the thing is, I feel like a load of them are trend chasing, and it's like, oh, we gotta make it open world. It's just like, yeah, but are you gonna make an effort making the open world work?
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
You know what I kind of find funny? The problem you had with Elden Ring, where they kind of expect you to do everything in the open world. I have the opposite problem with Breath of the Wild. Because the game doesn't expect me to 100% it, but I still kind of wanted all the shrines, and it got very boring to like 70 shrines, and it's still
there's
50
just too many
to go.
of them, you know?
Yeah, but like that's because they don't expect you to do all 120. Same with Korok Seeds. Like I don't think they expect
that. I prefer that like thing, because I'm not like one of those 100% things.
Yeah, so I'm the opposite. Like I like actually completing most of the game, which just made it feel awful. Right, so like I think there is like also two sides to that.
Yeah,
because honestly, if there was a Breath of the Wild game mode which it was just Shrine Rush and you took out the open world, I would actually really enjoy the game.
Yeah,
but Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
Honestly, both of them, because I felt like the open world was just like, it was just, you were wasting time in between. I would just rather just Shrine Rush and just you teleport to one, you teleport to another, and you just there's just content, instead of just watching Link run through a field for like the 10 millionth time. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
No, I actually I just wanted to expand on what Ryan just said. Nintendo felt like they had motivation to make a real open world game because of how heavily Skyward Sword was criticized for its linearity.
Yeah, I feel like that was like Breath of the Wild was a reaction, and they wanted to change the thing because they were worried that the Zelda brand was kind of dead.
Yeah, it definitely was a reaction, but I liked Skyward Sword for its linearity. That's the thing. Like, it's actually one of the things I liked most about it. I mean, I like everyone saying, hated Fee, but other than that, I thought Skyward Sword was fantastic, and the fact again, it feels like, because it's quite linear, it feels like playing a long, good movie. It's exactly why I love it. You know, brilliant.
Yeah, it's different. It's different, like a taste and all that. You know, and like the thing is with a linear game, the story has to be good, because if you're in a bad linear game, you're just like, I can't stand this. Like, I really like Mass Effect, right? Mass Effect was like one of the first proper RPGs I played, and it was amazing. And then Andromeda came out, the story was garbage, okay, and I was just I'm done with it.
I could talk about that one for 5 hours.
Oh god, Andromeda was so bad.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, it's the problem with me with Skyward Sword is it was not the linearity that I hated about it. But that's the reason why they made. No, it's not even only the motion controls either. There's like serious game design decisions that have happened in like dungeons and like puzzles there that are just literally unfun. They're just made to be not fun.
I think the time travel robot thing was a cool idea, but when they actually made it, it made for a really drawn out and boring dungeon.
Yeah. That's one of them.
Yeah.
No, but like that's the reason why they're moving now to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because of that like complaint of linearity. But I don't think a lot of people like had an issue with Skyward Sword because of that. I think they had a lot of issues because of the other stuff that was happening, and it just chalked it up to the linearity. Because like Ocarina of Time, for example, is also super linear. Majora's Mask a little less so because there's like a lot of optional stuff that you can just tackle in what order you want and stuff. But like many Zeldas have been very linear, so like, I don't understand why.
Wind Waker is actually incredibly linear. It doesn't need to be as well. There's a couple of times where it could go, okay, you can do one of these 2 or 3 things, but it forces you to do it in a certain order.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's incredibly linear, but.
Yeah,
very sad about
the ice and fire arrows. But actually, thinking about it, you need to go to the ice one first to get to go into the volcano, right?
Yeah, but there's also the fact that they should have made it so you can do the wind temple, the earth temple in any order, but they make you do the earth temple first. You literally cannot.
There's no reason for it.
There's no reason for that. No, there's a couple of other examples, but that's the one that always sticks in my head.
I never thought about that. Yeah, they could have made it so much better. Like honestly, like giving them choices is like that would have made the experience like so much better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Nintendo is kind of known to react to certain criticism, though. It's the same with Twilight Princess. They made Wind Waker. Everybody hated the art style. They make Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Because apparently everybody wanted the realistic thing.
Yeah, now everyone's realised what a good art style Wind Waker is.
Yeah, well, 10 years later.
I hate to say I told you so.
I like Nintendo's edgy phase, right? Like, GameCube was like, everything was edgy. Like, there was Twilight Princess. I mean, even Smash, like, Smash Brawl went for, like, an edgy look, okay? Like,
so where does Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is an N64 game, fall into this?
Where was that?
Conker's Bad Fur Day, you must know about this game, no?
Yeah, that was a Nintendo. Yeah, that was rare. It wasn't a Nintendo console, but
I didn't like Conker's.
I've never played it.
Because of I don't know if I can actually mention what one of the jokes involves, but like I was like, it put a bad taste in my mouth. That there was like, really, like you would really make a joke about this so early.
I would imagine that the Great and Mighty Pooh would leave a bad taste in your mouth.
No, stuff like that I would love because it's like dumb fun. But like, there's a part with like some tools, and if you played it, you'll understand. And I was just like, ooh, that set a really bad tone in my like. I want like that was like really dark for like no reason.
I have no idea.
But then there's other parts where you're bouncing on a sunflower's boobies and it's great. You know, I want more of that stuff, less of like those jokes. Like that's the thing about like comedy, right? Some jokes like are hit and miss, but some of them are just like, you know, when like someone says a joke and it's just like, oh god, like I like it just like it changes everything. That's what happened to me with Conkers. I'm just like, oh god, I don't like. I just feel uncomfortable now. You know?
Yeah.
They see that every time I make a joke. I don't know why, but it seems to happen a lot.
So what you were saying? Sorry, I interrupted you when you were talking about Nintendo's edgy phase.
I like when I think about GameCube, they went for like with more like an edgy thing, like a more like gritty look kind of thing, like less colors, like more serious and like a lot more serious stories. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was cheesy, right? But I kind of adored it. But then again, I grew up with GameCube, so like I don't know if I'm just being like, oh, it's what I grew up with, you know, like that. Maybe that's what it is, you know. I don't like the nostalgia to get in the way of stuff.
Yeah.
But it might be nostalgia just being like, oh, it was amazing, but it was like everyone else is like, oh yeah, it's garbage.
No, for what it's worth, the GameCube is my favorite console as well. So you're not alone.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love my GameCube.
I love the little tiny discs as well.
Yeah, the mini discs. Yeah, they were cute, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't break as often, and trust me, as a kid, that's a really good seller. You know.
I did watch a really interesting thing about how Wind Waker's a good game, but it came out at the wrong time, because it was all sort of cutesy, but it came out at the time when sort of gaming and was kind of in its adolescence. Because obviously nowadays you get sort of quote unquote old people who play video games. But
no, you're
it
only
wasn't
18. What do you mean?
really a thing when we were young. It was really it was the you know it was the domain of the young, and obviously those people that were young when they played video games grew up to be, you know, teenagers who also liked video games. And at the time when a lot of those people were teenagers was when they probably should have brought out something like Twilight Princess, and they brought out Wind Waker, which is one of the reasons why at the time a lot of people didn't like it. It just didn't fit the vibe of the time, even though it was a great game. And that is probably why they then reacted, and in the year all the rest of the GameCube stuff was all super like dark and gritty, like you're saying, and they went through their adolescent phase kind of thing. So it was probably a direct reaction to things like Wind Waker, which I believe did very badly in terms of how much it sold.
I didn't know Wind Waker did bad. Like I'm a very late bloomer to the Zelda series. I didn't play Zelda until I started streaming, which is like maybe about a year and a half ago. I played Zelda like originally. So like I didn't know. Like I thought Wind Waker did. I thought everyone loved it. Because the art style is like you can go back to it and still enjoy the art style because it's highly stylized. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly why I love it, and I always loved it. I will die on this hill because like I said earlier, I hate to say I told you so, because like even when it came out, I was like, this is great. Like, what is everyone else's problem? But at the time, everyone hated it. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people hated it.
I enjoyed it as a child as well. I actually dislike it more now than back then.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
The only thing I would say about Wind Waker is it was on par to be the best Zelda game.
Yeah.
But the end game, you can tell that they had rushed development. When you look into the behind the scenes, there's rushed development. The end game definitely feels rushed, and doesn't feel like it has the attention into it, right? And also when for example, Tetra is like a really amazing character. Has a unique oh, what do I call it?
Personality.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a certain thing. Is it sassy kind of thing, right? Yeah. But as soon as Tetra becomes Zelda, the character dies, full on just dies. Yeah. It's just like, oh, I'm Zelda, I'm the goddess. It's like, Tetra, where are you? Please come back. Okay, there's this robot who's taken over your body, okay, and she's not interested in the slightest, you know.
It would have been the same as if Midna halfway through the game just turned into a pretty princess as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Midna
she kind of does, but at the
similar. End. Yeah, but that's in the cutscene.
One thing I'll have as a closing for the DLC of a thing, they did what I hope they wouldn't. And the DLC feels like it's tailored towards the mega fans.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about just the casual fan. If you're just oh, I like Souls, I'll play it. It's tailored towards the people who are 100% the game. They got to the end game. They've grinded 50 levels above what you should be.
Yeah.
And then it wants you to organically go into there. But let's say if you start a new game, the level hike just feels really jarring, and it's just the Shadow Tree thing kind of helps with that. But I feel like it doesn't do enough. It feels a very niche DLC, right? Because I think this DLC in general is going to be considered most people won't care for it going forward. Most people will get the DLC. They will get to about the third boss in and be oh, I'll come back to this later, but they never do.
Right.
It feels like one of those. Do you get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like one of those where you look at Steam achievements, okay, and then it's 90% of people got to the DLC. And then the very next achievement, to beat free boss or whatever, this could be 30%. This could be a massive drop off because it's so niche of a DLC. It's kind of insane. And a load of the sales are probably from the hype of people hyping it up and kind of joining the bandwagon, but they're not really enjoying it. Do you get me?
I think it's also a part where people don't want to admit that they're not good enough to beat the DLC. So even if they are frustrated with the difficulty, they will never admit it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to say I'm bad at Elden Ring. People do, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, go on.
I generally, they like the difficulty argument, right? Which was like around, I was like, oh, there should be a difficulty thing. I'm getting to the point where like, because I'm not like full on like plugged into the system when it comes to like Dark Souls anymore, like Elden Ring kind of like burned my passion a bit. I would rather like an easier difficulty just for like the people who just want to have like a more chill time, instead of just like, oh, you have to play exactly how I want to, and like you get all this egotistical stuff where it's just like, oh, like I beat this boss. It's just like, I don't care. Like I only care about how I found it, and I didn't find it that fun.
But it does feel like the culture around those games is very much like that, though.
Oh yeah, I really think toxic like that.
If they actually like added a difficulty slider, I would guarantee you that there's a lot of people that would get angry, even though they could play the exact same thing as they played before.
Yeah, exactly. Just go on the normal difficulty and let the other people enjoy it more.
Yeah, but I suffered, so you have to suffer too.
Exactly. It's like the ego thing. It's like, oh, I beat this boss in so many attempts. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude, but like I don't care. Do you get me? It's just like, I want a more enjoyable experience. That's all I want. Like, it's my opinion. Do you get me?
Yeah. No, that's probably the healthy take on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's like, imagine going to the shop. It's like, and then like, you suddenly had to run every single time because Timmy ran to it in like 20 seconds. It's like, oh, you gotta do this now. It's just like, no, I'm gonna walk over there. Thank you very much. Okay, I don't care if you set a world record going to like co-op or something. It's fine. You know. That, oh, I went to Greg's and I bought a sausage roll in 5 seconds. I don't care. You know?
I can
have your ego, you know?
You say that the Souls games have always been revered for their batshit difficulty, and that's exactly why I'll never play one.
I don't think that's true, though. I don't think the developers ever intended the series to only be about difficulty. Like, what I gathered is, like, the Souls games, but also Elden Ring, have, like, a ton of lore, like, behind it. And there's, like, quite a few, like, different areas that, like, look very different and stuff. And, like, there's more to it than just having to die 100 times to a single boss.
The thing is, Dark Souls 1, I wouldn't say is a hard game. I really wouldn't say it's a hard game. It's more though like where you pick up tricks and then you use those tricks, like you use certain tactics, and it's like you learn it, and it's really satisfying applying other things in different areas. It's not like a really it's not a hard game, right? Like you can absolutely blitz through the game. Like some people like. I don't know why people say Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are like that harder games. Like I'm not like being like trying to be elitist or whatever, but like
I mean they're harder than different games.
Yeah, they're definitely harder than like. I always want Souls to be like somewhat difficult, but like when it comes to Elden Ring, where it's like trial and error, and there's like, it's more that there's cheap difficulty. Like it's not like, oh, I saw that coming. It's more like, oh, I didn't expect that because the game didn't tell me enough about that. And when a boss has a jab move which can lead to 5 different jab moves. Like they all have like the same starting animation, but you just don't know which one's gonna come until like the very last second. You have to like react in like a split second, right? I get what they're going for. They want it to be like more like frantic and all that, but like it just gets to a point where it's just a bit tedious because like you just have to go, oh, I have to wait till the very end, and like even like the micro waiting like adds up, and it's like, oh, I just want to play the game. Like Bloodborne was amazing because Bloodborne encouraged like a really aggressive play style. So if you took damage in Bloodborne, you would get like not like in the fighting games where you have like the gray bar, and if you do damage, you heal. Yeah, it had that. So basically, if you took a hit, you could trade damage and you were still in the fight, right? You didn't have to wait until they were done. And you could like, the dodge was like really fast and you could like dodge in. Like Bloodborne is absolutely phenomenal. Like I want them to like more encourage like aggressive playstyles instead of just like roll spamming until you can actually do anything, right?
Yeah, just wait for your chance to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Because like there's still like, a couple of bosses in Elden Ring where I was just like, can I go? Can I do anything, please? It's like, no, you're waiting your turn.
I have actually felt that already, and I've only played like 5 hours of it.
Yeah, like a load of bosses that's like, can I go, please? Like. I think the one big part of it is like they should make them stagger easier, but then people could exploit that or whatever, maybe. But a load of them have hyper armor, so you can't like if you hit them, they'll just continue their thing and then just like eat your face. You know, they'll just be like, yeah, you're dead. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do the interview then. So we will interview SirMagicPenguin, our esteemed guest. So let's talk all about you. So can we start then, Penguin? Would you mind sort of introduce yourself to the viewers?
Well, basically, I've gravitated more towards like the crowd control, like the interactive side of things, because like to me that's what makes Twitch unique, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like it takes it to like another level, you know, like where you can actually like interact with people. It's not just like, oh, here's content, watch content, right? You know, it's not like TV, but like, I also like to like be a bit on the goofy side. I don't feel like it's very subtle, I know. But it's just one of those things. It's just like that. Just like have fun with it, you know. Like even if it's like it's a bit weird, even if it's a bit weird, like as long as it's like even if like one person's like has a little bit of a chuckle or like their day gets slightly better, it's a win in my book, you know. Like just spread out more positivity out there, you know. Like people have like jobs and all that, you know, like stress upon stress, and like if you just look at a goofy guy in a not a goblin outfit. Like honestly, it's that's
Zelda,
that's
right?
what I aim for, you know.
You're dressed as Zelda, right?
No, I'm dressed as oh god, what are people? Okay,
Cruz.
it's not a goblin.
It's just a Cruz.
An elf. That's the one. Okay, that's the one where people don't know who Tingle is. Okay, that's the one they go to like every single time.
Sorry for interrupting you.
I've recently watched Lord of the Rings, and I just love the idea of Legolas wearing what you're wearing now.
You could probably ruin it, honestly.
Wait, like that was the actual thing, right?
It's like one of the few people I would actually love to see in that outfit. I think it would look great on him, honestly.
Like honestly, like just like doing like the outfits, like honestly, it's amazing. Obviously, this is like like a oh, I forgot what you call it. Do you know what like priests wear the outfit? Okay, commemorative. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we are commemorative to our Lord and Savior Tingle. Okay, he created the universe. Okay, in the beginning of time, there was dust, particles, tingle, and maps to sell. Okay. We honor that every single day, and it's amazing.
Why?
I like
sometimes the origin stories don't make sense, you know. Like it's just how it is, you know.
What? Why though? Like why the tingle thing? Like I gotta know.
Wait, when it was I saw the Grinch thing, and I just thought about how like big the Grinch's ass was.
Why the tingle thing? Why'd you wear the
How does your mind work, man?
Have you seen the Grinch's ass? Okay,
I want to dig in that brain of yours. I want to know how that works. Like,
no, look at the Grinch. Okay, look at it. Like I don't know if he stuffed it in there or like Jim Carrey's been doing squats ever since he got like the call. Okay, but like Jesus Christ, that's impressive.
So this is what we've become. We're talking about Jim Carrey's bum.
Do you know the scene where he like pulls the thing from like the table and he goes back and like scatters it all?
Yeah.
Do you know he actually meant to knock out everything the first time and he went back and it's like, oh, well, I'll fix this?
Yeah.
Oh, it was glorious.
Amazing. Oh, you gotta love Jim Carrey. I've never admired his ass though. I have to admit.
No, it's really weird. Also, the dad of like the girl looks like Stephen King.
Oh,
it's
really?
a direct 1-to-1. Okay, nose and everything.
Maybe it is Stephen King. No?
Is it? I don't know.
You've never bothered to check either. It's like he looks like it, but
if you look at it side to side, okay, it's a direct 1-to-1. What was your question, by the way? I got a bit distracted.
my question basically, I feel is still relevant. Is just why? why the Tingle get up?
Just weird things, okay?
Why the Tingle get up? Why the devotion to Tingle? Where does this all come from?
It was originally a joke, right?
Right.
Because it was like, haha, we like while we dressed as Tingle, okay, he's glorious, okay,
right,
and everyone says he's a loser, okay, but
right.
They're just jealous, okay. I really like joke characters, so like Skyward Sword, okay, Groose is the main character.
Oh, sorry,
okay, Groose is the main character.
Nothing
Everyone else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When the Groose got loose in that scene, okay, it was phenomenal. Okay, like honestly, peak Zelda. I always like the joke characters in everything. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're goofy and they're just fun. Right. You know? It's like the postman in Twilight Princess, main character.
Do you not like get uncomfortable in that though? After like, because you do like 6, 7, 8 hour streams, 9 sometimes. Like,
well, I used to be a chef, right?
Right.
And you used to like really long shifts and like staying up at really unsocial hours.
Yeah.
So it kind of just like naturally happened because like originally it was like, you know, you do your research. It's like, oh, wait, you do like 3 to 4 hours, and then it was just like, you know what? I got more in me, and we just like it just kind of became a thing.
Right.
You know.
But do you look forward to the streams where you don't have to wear it?
I've not worn an outfit for a stream for ages.
Well,
it's got to the point, right, where like not wearing the outfit is considered the special stream, which is so weird. I'd be tempted to do it like every now and then, but like I know people could be like, "Oh, this feels weird." I mean, I do have a lot of like
occasion. For the special occasion, I'm gonna dress like a human.
Exactly. And like, I like honestly, I kind of love that. Like that's become like the regular, and it's just like really dumb because I feel like we're like, I mean, it's just unique, right? It makes you stand out as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Well, what's your favorite game to stream?
Oh, overall, Ocarina of Time. Majora's is climbing up there. Like the more I'm learning the game, the more I like it. And like I said, I didn't play Zelda as a kid. I remember talking to the owl, right? Like in Ocarina of Time, we got out to the field, and then he's like, "Oh yes, I'm going to tell you the entire lore of the dictionary," and I'm just like, "I don't want. It is a bit much, okay?" And then the devs made it okay. So B and A does the same thing. And the first answer is, do you want to hear that again? And the answer is yes, okay? And as a kid, I heard like Ben drowned, and I was like, oh god, there's like cursed ROMs, okay? You got me some things where like it seems weird, and like he's gonna like steal your liver or something, right? But it's like it kept doing that. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Wait, like, I don't understand. And I thought it was like one of like the cursed ROMs. And I kind of stopped playing it, and that's my childhood story of Zelda. It was so dumb.
That's the best reason ever I've heard for not playing Zelda anymore as a kid. Honestly,
but like as a kid, you don't know, right? Because I was like, wait a minute, why is this not ending? Like I was there for like 15 minutes, okay?
That's really funny.
I wasn't the smartest kid, okay? Like, the Bowser fight in Super Mario 64 took me 2 hours, okay, to get that last pro. And I beat it, okay, but it took a bit longer than expected, let's just say.
Honestly, that throw, I feel like it's rigged.
Oh, it's so
You're releasing exactly when he's going to the bomb, and suddenly he's going like all the way over there. I don't get it, man.
It's the slight delay. Okay, it's not what you think it's gonna be. You have to predict where it's gonna be, and it's just like this is a beam. I know the next question is least favorite game, and I know exactly what it's gonna be, and people are gonna hate me.
What's your least favorite game to stream, Penguin?
Banjo-Kazooie.
I remember watching you play that.
Banjo-Kazooie, right?
Yeah.
I play Dark Souls. I'm used to slow animations, but Jesus Christ, Banjo! Like, if you win an attack, you were dedicated to that attack for like, basically, it feels like it's gone from day to night by the time that comes through. And it's like, oh my, and everything just feels like really like it's stuck in molasses. Like, I love the world. I love everything about it. Also, all the ladies have big boobies in old rare games, and that's a bonus. Okay, but
bonus,
yeah, exactly.
2 bonuses per character.
Did you play the DK64? I'm like one of the only people who likes the game, okay? But like I don't know why they all did it. Like they all did it. Like they all had the massive gazonkas, okay? I feel like it influenced me as like when I got older, but it's fine. Now, you didn't expect it to go this way, right?
You'll find out, is what you're saying. Go on.
Yeah, I grew up as a well-adjusted adult. What do you mean?
He says wearing a tingle costume.
Wearing a tingle outfit, yeah.
This is the sign of like success. Okay? All the Welsh like business people. It's like, oh, your tingle toes looking very good today. Okay.
I've been to Wall Street once. There was an insane amount of people wearing a tingle suit over there.
Exactly. It's green for money. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Have you played the second Banjo game then? Or did you just stop at the first one?
Oh, I didn't play Banjo until later. And I crowd controlled it the first time. And I don't know if that influenced it, honestly. But like, there's a load of parts which is just really confusing. Like when you get to the part where like there's the volcano and like there's that like second level, like none of that made organic sense to me. You just had to like know what to do.
That happens a lot on the N64, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Including the Zelda games.
No, Banjo in particular, right? Like confused the hell out of me. And also, Furthest Fun is like, don't listen to the name. There's no fun to be had. Okay, it's just pain. It's like you get to the end, you're gone one life. It's like, oh, where is this? And the camera is just like, imagine the camera's up to this wall, and it's just like just a black screen. Where was this? It's like, I don't know. It's like I have to do this all over again.
So
I'm not gonna lie to you, save states are absolutely like godsend. I mean nothing.
That's your difficulty setting for those games, right? Is just being able to use save states.
Whenever something gets too much, save states are always the answer. Like
that's true.
Every single time.
Yeah.
So has there ever been a game that you've really enjoyed, but your community have just been like, nah, mate?
The Elden Ring DLC, like the CC, is actually quite good because you can spawn in enemies.
Right.
But I feel like they didn't really pick up on it too much. Also, Kingdom Hearts, like I was trying out like a half like CC, half not CC. I actually really did like Kingdom Hearts like 2.
Yeah.
But it's like, because it wasn't CC, because it wasn't a brand, like obviously like that, you gotta like stick to like the brand. Like I would have liked to beat it, but like it just wasn't going in a good direction for the channel. I completely understand.
I mean, I
did enjoy the Kingdom Hearts for what I played.
Yeah. I actually thought those streams did pretty well, but obviously I haven't like paid attention to it as much as you have. Like, you know better.
It could be a thing in the future, but like I definitely noticed like a loss of like traction with it. Like it sucks, but like sometimes you just gotta make the better calls sometimes to get me. I mean, like this time of year, like it does like thing like a tiny bit, like because people are like busy and all that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, what about a game, the opposite, a game that you've, apart from Banjo, obviously, that you've hated but your community have really enjoyed?
See, I don't know if you would count Zelda 2, because you know you're going to go into that hating it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those things where it's just like, haha, it's a bad game. Like, it's not so bad, it's like amazing. Like, I really like the CDI games. Like, the CDI games are amazing because like, I don't take them seriously in the slightest.
Right.
And I just laugh at the game.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they get funny because they're so bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I love it when you beat the game and Link's is like, I won! It's
Golly!
like, yes, you did, Link. Yes, you did. Okay.
Pat, 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 pat.
I would like to think like the CDI Zelda is like the CDI Link is just like really stupid and he's like the hero nobody wanted, okay?
Yeah, just self-inserting him like
He's just going around being a bumbler and it's like, golly!
Sure is boring around here.
I'm bored. I want to go kill some moblins.
I'm so hungry. I could eat an Octorok. It's like, it's not relevant to the conversation, Link. It's like, it's like I also like to eat crayons. I mean, nothing. It's fine.
Oh, my days. So what would you say is your favourite thing about streaming?
Oh, yeah, like I said, it's more the interactivity, right? Because honestly, I always wanted to be, like, in this sort of, like, genre kind of thing. And it's one of those things where, like, you're kind of, like, absolutely terrified because, like, you're just like, I don't want to mess up and all that. But, like, I don't, like, you doing, like, when you make something and you, like, you don't expect, like, you don't get any return from it, you kind of feel, like, really, like, deflated and, like, I don't know, like, you know, like, when you, like, you put, like, a load of effort into something and, like you get no return from it and you just, like, it's really like it hits you at your core. But I'm glad I finally took the risk and actually went through with it, to get me? Because like sometimes you just gotta like jump in the deep end and just hope for the best, you know, like, but like it's just making that first step, do you get me?
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did because I met some amazing people. Like I was expecting, especially playing like Dark Souls, I thought it was like gonna be people that just like going, oh, like get good and just being like kind of toxic. But like I have been pleasantly surprised. Okay.
I think that's a reflection of you as well, though.
Yeah, like exactly, like a load of stuff from the street, like you know, you bring like the like similar people, right? I mean, you still get the people who are just a bit like mean or whatever. Like they've had a bad day, they want to be like a bit like they want to be that guy. But like 99% of people are being amazing.
Yeah, that's good. What would you say is your least favorite thing about streaming? Because
of the studio I got here. When it got really hot, initially it was so like it was just so bad, and when the outfit like to be fair to like chat, like I have a thing to add in you know, glasses or whatever, right? But like they were actually taking the hood off because I was just sweating buckets, you know. I'm so glad we're over that, and it's not gonna come back. It's not gonna come back.
Not this year, it isn't. No.
Okay, good. Okay,
I don't think so anyway.
I need to survive. Like my throat, like at the end of like those streams, was absolutely killing me.
Yeah.
And I was ending to like I had to end like streams a bit earlier. Obviously, like you don't really say, right? But like I was like actually literally at my will, like I was so physically tired after them because of the weather. Oh, that fan's been going. That fan's been going for ages. Okay. See, Danny's not complaining, okay? He's been cooled down the entire time. Like, oh, it was just so bad because it got so humid. And I had to like open up the door and everything.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like when it comes to Christmas, I'm gonna be like frozen. You know, like Fred has like that frozen ready, like we can freeze him.
Yeah,
Is that gonna be me? Like it's like, oh, he's been streaming for like 60 hours. Yeah, he's an icicle.
He hasn't said anything for 50 hours. But...
Yeah, exactly. He's just chilling out, you know.
Maybe you'll need like a space heater or something for the winter time. I don't know.
I feel like I can deal with the cold. Okay, it's just when like the heat is like. I swear it's like global warming or something, because it feels definitely off though. Like it's getting worse and worse. Do you get me?
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, definitely. It does feel that way. So, you gonna grow your hair back?
I'm debating it because of the thing is, I said this earlier, right? And it's like. When you have certain things, like people pick up on like other things. So when I grow up my facial hair, right? And by the way, I don't get hair here. Like everywhere else, I get hair, but I don't get hair here.
Right.
So when I grow it out long, okay, I start looking like a Chinese emperor. Okay, and it looks ridiculous. But like when I grow out, when I grow out the facial hair, the daddy the daddy names kind of increase. Okay, yeah. It's like a graph. Okay, like it goes up the more facial hair. It's a bit on the weird side. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So you're gonna go for like a full Pai-Mei?
I don't know. Cause I kind of liked it, I kind of didn't, because it's like more maintenance, right?
Yeah.
I think I prefer shorter hair.
Yeah. Do you think if you let the beard like grow for long enough, they're just gonna call you grandpa at some point? Like it just evolves honestly, into the next stage. If I'm
doing this when I'm old, okay, if I can look like Gandalf, I probably will. I'll be the crazy version of like of Gandalf, you know?
Yeah.
The Gandalf wearing the tingle suit.
Exactly. Everyone would be like, oh, why are you dressed as a goblin? I'm not a goblin. Okay,
you're like, you want to see my wand?
Oh, God.
Stop.
Wait.
Oh, stop. Sorry. It's a 2-hander.
Wrong franchise there, man.
Oh, sorry.
They got much bigger dicks in Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. I've never watched the movies. I just assumed.
Okay, I can see you up there. What do you want? Wait, I'm gonna give her a treat. Okay. Sorry about that.
Still waiting for my big ring.
You've got a penguin?
The treat is the friends we made along the way. Okay, that's what you say when you don't actually get them a treat.
Yeah, I know. I got it. I'm very disappointed.
What do you mean? You sound like my father. They keep going they keep going up to you. It's like, oh, why are you dressed like a goblin? It's like, I'm not a goblin. I can't believe this.
It's a phase, Dad.
It's not a phase. This is the true me. Oh God.
Oh my God. So have you got any questions for Penguin at all, aMannus?
You kind of recently went full-time, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a couple months ago?
So basically, I was working as a chef, so I was doing the streaming and then and the chef thing, and I've been saving up money for a long time because of ideally I want to be a content creator, right? And I'm gonna start doing YouTube and all that properly, and that's proper going in. But I need the plan to go into it, then actually do it properly. Do you get me? Instead of just making this absolute trend. I mean, I should make something ideally, but I don't know. I think I've been too much of a perfectionist about it. But this is what I want to do. So I saved up a ton of money to make the thing, and when the channel got big enough to basically break even, then I'm just you know what, I'm gonna take the plunge, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start the next step of my life. Do you get me? Because being a chef is I love food, but being a chef for so long, there's a reason why most chefs, if you talk to them in 10 years time, they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah,
all chefs I knew aren't chefs anymore. So yes,
exactly. I know all about it, and also we're all crazy as well.
Yeah.
You know,
good crazy, but crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, have you regretted the decision? Are you still like, or is it the opposite? Are you like super happy that you did it, or?
I feel liberated. Do you get me? Like, I feel like I can show the world who I am, kind of thing, instead of like hiding. Because like when you're out in society, right? Like if you're a bit on the wacky side, you can't really be you.
Yeah.
See you.
But yeah, just like you.
you can't really be yourself and not be like, you know, people to be like, because I live in like a small town where it's like very like blokes are very blokey bloke, and like it's like all about football or like beer and stuff like that, like just like the average thing. But like it's like I like you're trying to make conversation, it's like they're just not really that interesting, because like, oh, what did you do? It's just like, oh, I drank and I watched football, and it's like there's only so far those conversations go until they're just really boring. But like I can actually talk to people on like online and actually like, you know, like actually have an interesting conversation instead of just like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's not, by the way. You know,
you're speaking to my soul right now. That's so true. You know. But no, I remember I worked in a call center with a guy that used to be a chef. I mean, imagine going from being a chef to being in a call center. But he was happy, you know. He hated chefing that much, so I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just like with being a chef, right? It's like the constant stress of like you have to make sure everything works, like you have to like make sure everyone's doing their thing, and like it's just like it gets to a point where like it just kind of just becomes just unfun. You kind of lose your passion for like cooking. I kind of got to that point where I was just like, I was there, but I knew like I didn't really want to be here. I didn't really want to do it. It's like I want to do cooking for fun, but like not really as like a job. Like, cause once it's like a job, like eventually you're like, yeah, you get to work with like better ingredients, but once that thing like wears off, it kind of like, oh, it just doesn't feel the same, you know? Like I used to, like, the main thing I used to do was like steaks and all that. I love cooking steaks, but like it's everything in between is like, oh, it was just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, definitely.
It starts to feel like a job. Kind of.
Like work.
Yeah. Well, that's basically
like
what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but like if you take something that's previously your hobby and then you do it professionally, like it starts to feel like a factory job almost. Where you're kind of just doing the same thing every day, and like the menu is the same every day, and you're not really being creative at that cooking anymore, and then it just becomes a chore. While like when you're creating content, for example, if that's where you can, you know, put that creative part of you, then stay like relevant for a lot longer, right?
Yeah, because when you're in a job, basically you do what the boss wants you to do, right?
Yeah.
But when it's like content creation, you can actually add like your own flair into something.
Yeah, you're own boss, basically, aren't you?
Yeah, like if you do something different in like a thing, you'll get people complaining because like, oh no, it's different, kind of thing, you know?
Do you feel like yourself on or off stream?
Well, like, oh, see, off stream, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, it's a lot more chilled out, kind of thing. But like, on stream, like, I don't know, like, it's more really because like, I'm doing something I want to do and I feel like a passion to it, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, I wish my voice was a lot more like this because like a lot more, you know, like deeper. Like that thing is like it's not put on or anything. It's just natural, right? Because like I want things to be like hyped up. I want everything to be like exciting and all that, right? And it's just a natural thing which happens. And on it, like I feel like the stream self is a very exaggerated version, but like that's because it's just like the hype, which is like make
definitely
it like
feel that
it's making it more concentrated. Do you get me?
Yeah, definitely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also like there's so many things to worry about that you're just like I haven't got time to think of deep conversation. Okay, it's just what comes into the brain. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. So when you're streaming,
I noticed.
You're still you, but you turned up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like when you have like squash, right, or cordial, or whatever people call it in other places, and then you add in like a bit extra. You're feeling a bit like I feel a bit saucy. I'm gonna add like a little bit extra juice into it.
So what we see on stream is the saucy penguin. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
We also know that when Penguin's feeling saucy, puts a little bit more cordial.
Exactly. I just hope it's not too much for people,
They can handle it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, there you go. Finally. It's been so long since you said that. Like for like 2.5 hours.
I don't say it as much recently. Like I normally go through like these phases where I say something like and then I'll just keep saying it. And like I hate myself because I'm just like I remember I was saying like I won't say like how you do it if you don't mind me asking. Okay, now it's just a normal thing. Okay, I used to hate myself for saying it. I'm like I don't know why.
It becomes iconic at some point, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same with the "it's fine" thing. Like it's a point of recognition at some point as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just is like a natural thing,
Yeah. All right, shall we move on?
What, to the aMannus one?
Yeah.
No, to the reviewer, right?
So, for anyone who maybe hasn't been around, for how long ago were you on the show? Was it like about 5 months ago, aMannus? I forgot.
It feels like last week, but
I forgot to interview aMannus. How bad is that? So, we're going to interview him now. So.
Shit.
aMannus.
I've been running and running, man. I can't run no more.
I okayed this with Penguin before we started. I'm not just springing this on everyone. We knew this was going to happen. But yeah, aMannus, introduce yourself.
Cool. Yeah, it's a tarp. I'm aMannus. I kind of came into the whole streaming thing because of Ship of Arcanian. The PC port for Ocarina of Time, but I'm pretty sure everybody in here knows what that is by now. Yeah, I streamed like 10 years ago or something, back when Terra was new. I don't know if anybody remembers Terra, the MMO. It recently died and like the server got shut down, but back in the beginning it was like pretty big. And I streamed when I was still in like high school or whatever, right? Like I had all the time in the world, and I streamed that for like 12 hours a day or something for like 5 viewers. But like I never really had the urge of like going back. I always was like a YouTube guy as well. I always watched YouTube. I never watched Twitch until like the whole ship came along, and like I started watching people play ship. Like Cal is one of the first people that I watched. Fred also. I kind of made Fredomato like play ship because he was playing a console. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" But yeah, like that's kind of how I got into ship, and then we got the proxy percent, which was like a self-made speedrun category for like ship.
Yeah.
And I started streaming those runs, and it was like, oh, it's actually kind of fun. So let's do it more. So yeah, I started doing like more randomizer stuff and stuff like that, and that's kind of where we're at right now. And I've been enjoying it, so yeah, you'll have to, deal with me for longer, I guess.
Oh no, the humanity!
Exactly.
How long have you been streaming for?
Was it now 1.5 years? I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's been roughly 1.5 years, if you don't count the whole Terra thing, which honestly I kind of don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite game to stream?
I don't know. Probably still Ocarina of Time, but like that, it kind of depends on the day, honestly. Like I have a problem. I have a problem where if I stream something for like 2 streams, I kind of just want to move on to the next thing.
Right.
Which often leads to me like not finishing things as well. I've been better at it lately, I feel like, but yeah. So like the new shiny thing is always like on the horizon, and I have so many ideas of stuff I want to play. It's like hard to stick to one thing.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like whatever I feel like streaming at that point. It's not like a mainstay game or whatever that I like to have. There's other things, Cal. Yes, there was other things that Ocarina of Time. But yeah, I really like the randomizers as well. And lately we've been doing the community archipelagos, and those have actually been pretty fun to stream as well, because they're like very different games than what you would normally play. For example, I streamed like Stardew Valley randomizer. Like, what the heck? And it was fun. Yeah, you got. Yeah, oh my god, it's like it took me like 30 hours. So much to randomize. Yeah, that's fun. I just like to do new things, I guess. But
well, in that case, then, what's your least favorite game that you've streamed?
I haven't played many games I didn't like to stream, but parts of Subnautica were very grindy.
Is it the part where you have to go deep and like you just don't really know where the resources are and you just have to kind of get lucky? Is it like that part? Like,
no, I had the fish randomized as well, in like inside the crafting recipe. So I was just farming fish. Very exciting game.
Also known as fishing, by the way.
Well, you grab them with your hands. Is that still fishing? Like,
I mean, a different type of fishing, you know.
Hand fishing, yeah.
Well,
but yeah, like.
Sorry, go on.
I think there's some games that are. I'm always very afraid that something I'm playing isn't engaging enough, I guess. So like when there's like a lull in the game, it happened in Elden Ring like last stream as well, where I was looking for a grace, which is like one of those save points, right? And I felt like I was looking for one for like 2 hours, and those are the parts that I really hate, because like I'm so afraid that I'm gonna lose like the interest of people because there's nothing happening, and usually that's not even always the case, but like. Those are the parts I can like die inside. Sometimes, like, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, it's got to be around here somewhere. But like, you feel like it's so close, but like you just can't find it. You're just like, oh god, and then you panic more and more, and then you mess up more and more, and it's like, oh god, just show up, please.
Yeah, you start to get like a little frustrating, and like probably other people can tell that you're getting frustrated as well, and then it's like a spiral that.
And then you get frustrated from the frustration as well.
Yeah. Like why we're frustrated? Come on, man.
So what about in a game then that you've enjoyed that your community's hated? Because that kind of is on the same.
I know that you don't like Elden Ring, so.
That's all right. I don't mind watching you play it.
I don't think there was any game that people like absolutely hated. SOH. I mean, I made like a poll for crowd control games I was going to play. I made like a list of like 9 games, and I purposefully put like 7 new games that I've never streamed in there. Like half the votes were still on SOH, so like I don't know. I don't think people like necessarily care to see new things. Yeah, I don't know. So that's probably a good sign.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, when you do something for so long, it's like people have like certain tastes, right? It's just like, you know, like you might have pizza, like you love pizza, but like if you just randomly swap it to like avocados or some devil's work like that, you know. But like they don't have that taste, and that's perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah, they watch you for a specific type of content, and
yeah, exactly.
They start to expect it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, what about a game that you hated but your community really liked?
I don't think there's anything. I haven't played that many games on stream, honestly. So
it's probably more than you think.
The counts are like 7, maybe. I don't know. It really isn't that high.
All right, then. What's your favorite thing about streaming?
Oh, I think the community. I've spoken about this on my own stream before. The archipelago for me is like a reward for having this community.
Right.
Like that I have a community that I can play these games with and like organize these events that people actually show up for. That is the reward for me for streaming. And that's not only my like earning, I guess, because like this whole community is kind of intertwined. Like a lot of people watch each other. Like Penguin's viewers know Mellar's viewers, knows my viewers, whatever. So like, but yeah, that's great. I love that.
What about your least favorite thing about streaming then?
Being very tired afterwards.
It is tiring.
Oh yeah, but you go for like double as long and every day. So no, but due to health issues, I'm my energy reserves are very low. So that's also why I'm not streaming like in my evening, for example. I just can't do that. So yeah, like often I stop an hour before I have to pick up my kid or whatever, and I literally just go to sleep for like 45 minutes and then try and carry on afterwards. It's not the greatest, but like it is what it is. The surprise you pay.
Well, we appreciate when we can see you, you know.
I appreciate you saying that as well.
Oh, like honestly, like just your energy it's amazing.
Yeah,
very, very chill, very just like generally just a happy person, you know.
But that's what streaming is for me as well, though. It is to have that like distraction from all the other crap that I have to deal with, right? And like I've had streams where I was like very down as well because of like how I felt or whatever. But if I like stay in that vibe, even during stream, then it's never going away as well. Like it's not going to help anybody, not me, not everybody that's watching me or anything, right? So like, yeah, that is one of my goals. Is like be positive during these streams as well, because it's an escape for everybody, not just for me.
Yeah, that is very true. Well, on that topic, very similar topic, are you more yourself on stream or off stream?
Both, but in a different way.
What do you mean?
I do things off stream that people probably don't expect from me. I'm a little more, I don't know, out there, I guess, like more rebellish. How do you say this?
I think like, belligerent, probably.
No, like I like to go clubbing, for example. Like I'm quite the party animal, I guess, and that probably doesn't always show when you just watch me on stream, I guess. But rebellious.
Have a raised stream, it's fine.
I mean, you kind of know what just say. But yeah, like on stream, like yeah, what Penguin said as well, what you said as well, Mellar. I think it's for most streamers where like you turn yourself up to a higher degree than normal, just because you're trying to entertain an audience, and that doesn't mean that that's not you, but it is you, but it's different than you will be off stream.
You plus.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're in a Discord call with me playing a game, I can be as energetic, probably sometimes to my own detriment as well. But yeah, you should know that, Mellar.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I feel like I'm probably less energetic in a Discord call than I am on stream, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm exactly the same. I don't really.
I think there's more time between. You know, like you're still the same, but like there's cooldowns.
Well, yeah, like you like when you're streaming, it's like, oh yeah, I can't just have dead air. So you got to fill it with something. You know, you gotta, like you got to be like, you know, constantly like giving something to watch. Do you get me?
Yep.
Yeah, or listen to at least.
When's the Tingle suit coming?
Tingle suit, when Cloud gets one. I've always said this.
I'm still trying to convince him, okay?
I don't think it's happening. Sorry, man.
Damn. Right, shall we move on then to the game review?
Yeah.
Shall we? We do have some footage, which may mean that you'll want to bring your eyes to the screen if you're just listening. So, yeah, do you want to review Dark Souls 1, Penguin?
So basically, should I start now?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
So basically, I wanted, it was really convenient because like I was streaming this yesterday to get like into like the proper feel of it, right? And I was like, there was a like update for CC, so I kind of like I wanted to I was gonna do this on stream and then do the full playthrough, get back to here, but I kind of like there were like something happened, so I just ended it short. So it was good that I stopped before the DLC. So this is like the DLC of Dark Souls, and honestly, it's like a really, it's like the part which I think like was like the most like what I love about Dark Souls. I mean, this guy's a chump, basically. I I kind of got a bit confused here. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like both the doorways are the same, but like it is what it is, you know. But I love how like basic like the first Dark Souls was, and as you can see, like you can make yourself really strong. I'm actually like pretty under-leveled at this point, but like I just like I know the game, so it's like fine. But like you can take like knowledge from like earlier and like basically fight that guy and like have no problems whatsoever. There is a bit of problem in Dark Souls 1 where there's a lot of time where you just kind of run into places.
Yeah.
Which is like, it is what it is, okay? Like, it's like, it's not the perfect game, but honestly, like, Dark Souls is my very chill game. So like, these times in between, like, I'm kind of just chilling out and just kind of vibing and all that, you know?
Yeah.
But I love with Dark Souls how everything dies. Like, the more and more Dark Souls went on, the less and less this was the case. Where like stuff died really fast in the old Dark Souls, but stuff could kill you fast as well. Right. But like it's like it feels like it's getting like a very like drawn out as it goes like on, and like every fight just feels like it's going on for ages, because like you could basically kill these in one hit, right? Right. But like the newer ones, you can't really do that. And I love the simplicity of everything.
Yeah.
Where like everything didn't feel like it was bogged down. Everything didn't feel like too overly designed, right?
Yeah.
Because you can kind of tell that they like didn't really fully know what they were doing, but they ended up making like an absolute masterpiece, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, as soon as I played it like on stream, like a bit ago, like it kind of like grabbed me of just how you could just get into it, and it was like perfect. Like it would just, you would just play the game. It's nice and simple, and like all that, you know. I played the remaster, to be fair. So there's 8 directional like dodging, and that changes the game a ton. So I haven't played the actual original game, so I don't know if I would think like it was a bit janky back then, because you could only dodge in like 4 directions in the original.
Right.
And you see, I'm doing like diagonal, like a roll. You wouldn't be able to do that in the original. I feel like that would really, I wouldn't find the game as good if that was the case. But with like that dodging, it just feels satisfying. And as you can see, like everything is, you know, you can make the first strike and not get punished, which I really like. Like Elden Ring is like, oh, like it feels like you want to, like it makes you want to like, oh, you take your turn, right? You don't start combat. We start the combat and you react. But with Dark Souls, you can take the first action, right? And I feel like they're going further and further away from that. And honestly, it just felt better when you like the AI was. This is gonna sound dumb, right? But when the AI was a bit on the more dumb side, it felt like it felt more like a power fantasy to me, right? Because you can like, if you're really good, you can make the game like, you can absolutely dominate the game, right? And like all the like the DLC, I honestly, I just like, even though the game looks a bit jank, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is an old game, but it's still like all the art style, I absolutely love it. Especially the DLC, there is the fight up, okay, which I would say is like absolute peak Dark Souls. And it's because of like, none of the moves, besides maybe one, which is like the hitbox is a bit off, okay, it feels really fair, and it feels like you're in a duel with almost with another person. You get me? And like, you have the same rules, you have the same like you both have stamina. You can't just like absolutely spam stuff. You get me?
Yeah.
Also, one thing like this is iconic with the Dark Souls series, right? But you can unlock like shortcuts, and I feel like it's really satisfying to like when you get you unlock the map more. You get me? And it's like it feels almost like Metroidvania, kind of like where like you get something and you could like skip like a part, and you don't have to go like the long way around and all that. But this guy like I think I would prefer them to go a more basic game design, which is like, I don't know, like it's just so it's so simplistic and it's just beautiful. You get me? Like anyone could just get into it, and it's just like you don't have like these over-designed things. You don't have like hyper-tuned builds. Like the amount of stuff which is like viable in Dark Souls 1 is actually amazing. Like I used to do like challenge runs, right? And the amount of stuff you can make work is insane. Like with modern game design, I feel like they're too like obsessed with making it so there's the build, right? Which you should beat the game, and the rest of them are just a bit garbage, and they just they never get like they just leave them, right? They're just like, oh, like if it's not OP, we don't have to worry about it, right? And then there's like you have 99 weapons, but like only about 2 of them are good. Dark Souls, you can make just about anything work with enough effort.
Yeah.
But as you can see, like everything is like reactable, and like I did mess up with this, and like that buff thing is. It normally doesn't go good when that happens, and you might see what I mean, okay? But none of this, I would say, is really like. I didn't feel cheated by this. I did record this so it skips the run back, because the run backs can be a bit on the tedious side, and I understand how that could be a bit of a contention with like the older game, where like with some teleport, it would have really like. I feel like the modern ones got better with the teleports. Like the shrines are definitely a mass improvement, because it was just like running for like about 3 minutes. But honestly, it's like in my opinion, it's a flawed masterpiece. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, everything about this, I forgot the weapon can break, but it's fine. This is one thing which could be a bit annoying, is the menu system. Like obviously like it could be better. I think they improved it with Elden Ring, but it can be like, as soon as the weapon needs a repair and like that, it is useless.
Right.
So it's a bit jank when it comes to menus, okay? But as long as you're willing to deal with some jank, it is amazing.
Do you think that jank actually makes it like more charming as well in a way?
I think the menu, if anything, takes away, because like if you're in a menu, you're not really in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like it's like a full-on stop to what you're doing, and it's just like it could have done with like a quick equip thing. Like you can equip multiple weapons, but it adds towards the weight. And like with Dark Souls, I actually for this footage, right? I purposely wore pants, okay? So normally in the runs with Dark Souls, armor you normally don't wear armor. Armor is like one of those things where it's like in Dark Souls, like a lot of people say, oh, if you're having trouble equipped armor is a bit on the lackluster side most of the time. Like it's not really worth losing your quick roll for. Dark Souls 1 is the only like game which like armor actually mattered. Instead, like armor in like all the other Souls games feels cosmetic at best, right? Like I see loads of guides where it's like, oh, if you're in trouble, equipped armor, never listen to them. It does absolutely nothing. But as like this fight, see, I could fight this guy back to back, and I'll be satisfied every single time. See, like you dodge, see, and then there's like a little gap in between where it's like, oh, now it's your turn. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just feel like it's really dissatisfying. And it feels like you're kind of in a duel, like where you both have like weaknesses, and you're kind of playing on the same level, right? Even though the boss has more health, it doesn't feel like, like with like modern ones where like it's like a load of like hyper armor and like, oh, you can't punish this because he'll just tank your hit and just hit you, like it hit you through it. Okay, like
that feels fair.
Yeah, I feel like Dark Souls 1 is the most fair, right? Like there's not too much like stuff where like the game wants you to like let's say if this was Dark Souls 2, right? if I was to walk past there would be an enemy already charging and probably knock me off the edge. That doesn't feel satisfying at all. I mean, like, there was an enemy there, but he makes noise. It gives you, like, it's like, oh, I know there's an enemy there. Like, Dark Souls, like, telegraphs a ton. That it's just like, you're not completely in the dark. No pun. No pun intended. Okay? But it's just, it does everything in a satisfying way. And also you can kind of like, stats did did matter more back in the older ones as well. So I'm actually under-leveled. You'll see what I mean in a second, okay? But with the right knowledge, you can make yourself really OP. And honestly, I love that. We're like, I know I compared it a lot to the modern ones, and like, but like the modern ones feels like the devs intended you to play a certain way, and any exploits, they're just like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. It's like, wait a minute, why not? It's not PvP. Let me feel powerful. And you'll see why I said I'm under-leveled, okay, in a second now. It's like, oh, this will be fine. One-shotted. And it's fine. And that is pretty much Dark Souls, okay? An absolute an absolute gem, okay? And it's like my chill game, which is like really weird, right? Oh, I don't know if they have. Have you guys played Dark Souls?
I'm working on Elden Ring, but I've not played. I played an hour of Dark Souls 1 and got so frustrated by the janky controls that I gave up. And I feel like maybe if I give it like more time, then maybe I'll actually enjoy it in the end.
Those where like once you spend some time to get used to the janky, like I feel like that's what happens when you go back to an old game, right? It just feels, I mean, back in the day it wasn't as janky, but like it like just going back and play like older games, you just these controls just feels too weird. It feels like
I don't think it's aged though, because like I play a lot of like action RPGs for most of my life, and Dark Souls definitely has like a lot of weight behind like every move.
Yeah. Like it has a lot of like long animations.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm using definitely a stronger weapon, which like you can do a lot of fast blows, so like you can kind of punish in between. So like that boss, if you're using like an ultra great sword, would be very different. But like the halberd, you can just like jab, jab, jab. Do you get me?
Yeah.
It is definitely one of the stronger weapons in the game. Okay, like I'm not gonna lie to you, it's like kind of easy mode, but I love the halberds. Okay, halberds are cool.
No, I've never played any Dark Souls game. They're really not my jam, to be honest. I've watched a lot of Dark Souls 1 and 2 gameplay and a fair amount of Elden Ring gameplay, but I've never actually picked up the controller. And like I said, I don't think I would. It really isn't my kind of bag. I don't really enjoy I don't actually like the art style, which is odd because generally I like this kind of sort of dark aesthetic, but there's something about Dark Souls, and it's not just Dark Souls 1, it's all of the Dark Souls and Elden Ring games. I've never really been into it. I don't like the lore.
Yeah, they're a bit on the gritty side. I don't personally like the newer lore because of like it's very much like it's trying to be too epic, and like Dark Souls 1, like honestly the lore is like really basic.
Well,
and that's like to me that's the name of the game of like Dark Souls, like everything just like it's just pure Dark Souls. There's no like added stuff. They're not trying to be like too like crazy. It's just like it's just fun. It's just like it's what I want.
Well, the problem I had really with the lore of Dark Souls, this is just in general, not just Dark Souls 1, because the only game that I know any lore of in terms of Dark Souls is Dark Souls 3. And it's not really the lore per se that I have a problem with, it's more the way it's delivered. Or more the way it was delivered to me. through chat.
Oh, how cryptic it is.
No,
right?
it was delivered to me through chat because people wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Honestly, it was literally I was modding as well. That was the problem, and people just massive lists, like massive essays of lore, and nobody asked, man. You know, I mean, we ended up banning some of them because we asked them to stop it, and they didn't. And it completely coloured my my feeling of the lore towards these games. It's like. Like I said, I like a story, and if the story is going to be like, spoon-fed isn't quite the word I'm looking for. It's more grain-fed. It's like a little bit here and a little bit there, and they make and I have to fill in the blanks. I don't know if it had maybe been presented to me in a way that admittedly wasn't the developer's fault, then maybe I wouldn't have hated it so much.
Yeah,
but
so
honestly
basically, the story's really cryptic.
Yeah,
but like you don't really need you don't really need the story at all. Like I just enjoy the game for what it is. I don't really care too much about the lore. Like the lore is like a nice little addition, right?
I normally need a good story to like enjoy a game, unless
exactly, to get like proper immersed into the world. Kind of
yeah. So I don't know, like, and also it's a punishing game. Like there is a difference between punishing and hard. Right, and we've already kind of gone into the subjects as to whether or not this is a hard game, and you say, not, maybe it's not. It's a little bit more difficult than the average game, but it isn't that hard. But it is punishing. If you die, like you had to cut out the bit.
The run backs are just like the run backs, specifically in Dark Souls 1, can be a bit like on this. It's like, oh, it's just kind of boring. Kind of thing.
I can tell you now that repetition would make me want to gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, if you just mess up, like you have to run all the way back. They did improve in the new one. So basically, there's like a shrine which you just spawn outside the boss fight. Massive improvement. Because like running through it like the first time is fine. But like if you're stuck in a boss for like hours, like maybe about like let's say if you try to kill a boss for an hour, right? The run back might take about 20 minutes of that, and it's just like a bunch of nothing.
Yeah,
and it's just like I like the environment, but I don't like it that much.
that is an absolute deal breaker for me. That would really just make me rage.
And if you don't get the shortcuts, oh god, it's even worse. That's why after like the death like here, that's why I specifically cut it out, because it's like it's just a bunch of nothing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that I'm glad they did improve that going forward.
Yeah, I think what I would say, just as as a punctuation mark at the end of my thoughts, because I've long sort of known for a fact that this is not a game that I would enjoy playing, and I don't love watching it, but watching someone who's fairly good at it is not too bad, because you don't have too much of the repetition. It's not the worst game in the world to watch.
Cut out the fat kind of thing, you know?
Exactly. It's not the worst game in the world to watch by any means. I don't hate it. I just don't really like it.
Yeah, exactly. And like watching someone on the first playthrough, like I've seen so many people, right? Were like, just beat it, you know? Like, I just want to get something. I don't want to do the run back. Like, I completely understand. Like, there's been a couple of like. I didn't really get that in the Dark Souls ones too much, but I got that in Elden Ring a ton, where I just wanted this done.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And then of course you get people who get frustrated because I just want to fight the boss. You know, it's like it's one of those things which you're like, a load of people would argue, right, that like it makes beating the boss that much better. I wouldn't agree, because like. Just wasted, like it's like it can feel like wasting your time.
Yes,
just
exactly.
Because you messed up slightly, right? And it's just like it punishes you with boredom.
Yeah.
Which is not the best way to punish someone.
Not in a video game, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't want to be like, oh, you do like the boring parts, right? Which again, they did improve. Okay, like. I just want them to go more back to the basics, right? It's like, I feel like it's one of those, which is like, do you know what, like with Resident Evil, right? Where Resident Evil went like really action based and kind of lost sight of what made the experience amazing for so many people.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what that kind of happening to the Souls genre. If I'm going to be honest.
Except Elden Ring is like by far the most sold game so far.
It's like
they're not gonna move back. This is like the Breath of the Wild.
I feel like they're not gonna, like, especially since it sold well, right?
Yep.
I'm kind of hoping for like a whole Resi situation. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm not saying it's bad. Like Elden Ring is a really well made game. Especially, I think Elden Ring is considered so good because the rest of the game, like a modern, the rest of this gen gaming is so bad. Because of like they're following trends and not really following their passions or not really making like what they want to make. It's like with Redfall, right? Arcane didn't want to make Redfall, but it would like they were following trends and they made it like a game which is just like it was passionless and like it just. I feel like a lot of passion has gone out of like game making. It's just like, oh, we need to make money. This thing specifically makes money. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of publishers are led by shareholders.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't have like the simplicity, it doesn't have like the magic. It's all like, oh, we have to add in like 10 million mechanics from these other games. Do you get me? It's like we're like Assassin's Creed. Oh, we need an RPG system. You don't need an RPG system. Assassin's Creed was fine. Just added some variety to the Assassin's Creed formula instead of just going like, okay, now we need to add in this thing from this game which sold well. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to start a whole nother debate. I think we've talked more than enough about Tears of the Kingdom on this channel, but it feels like the same thing that Nintendo were doing with Zelda, let's face it.
This is a Zelda podcast, right? Sorry. Can I say one thing about Dark Souls, though? I feel like nobody minds this, and I find it weird. Because I have this every time someone plays like Dark Souls or a Souls-like on stream, they all look the freaking same. Like, I literally cannot tell if someone is playing Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. They are the exact same to me.
Yeah.
Because I
looking from the outside.
Okay. Because it's only because I played them all. I can definitely tell the difference. So like, Dark Souls 2 has like a more saturated look. Bloodborne has like a very like vivid, like you could like the reds are really red. But like, and everything's shiny. Like, I don't know why everything's shiny in Bloodborne. But it's very subtle, but I can see what you mean. You know?
I just find it weird because like this Souls-like genre has been like bigger and bigger lately, right? Why does nobody like put it into a completely different art style? Like a futuristic
stuff like Neo 2.
I never heard of it, so sorry.
So basically, Neo is like very Souls-like, but they have their own unique twist. It's like Japanese cultures, like yokais and all that. And I absolutely adore Neo 2. It's like one of my favorite games ever made.
Okay.
Would I say I prefer it over Dark Souls? It's very, very close. But I absolutely love like a Souls. Like I feel like some of them, like there's a load of like really bad ones, like Code Vein. Code Vein is just like.
Yeah, I've.
Did you try? I was gonna say at least you tried, but I'm just like, did you really? I don't know. You know?
Yeah, that really felt like cashing in the anime thing.
Yeah, it was like shelled. It's like, oh, people like anime, people like Dark Souls. Let's add them together. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So Ryan just mentioned the Another Crab's Treasure. That I actually saw a fair share of that game from like another streamer. I feel like people just called it a Souls-like because it had combat. It did not look like Dark Souls or anything like it me at all.
I feel like so many games, if you have a sort of similar thing, people will instantly go, "It's a Bloodborne game." Yeah. No, not Bloodborne. It's a Souls game.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people need to really back up on that and actually give it like a try. So like Neo, like I was saying about Neo 2, Neo 2 really got pushed under the rug. but like there's a lot to love about it, right? But people really dismissed it because, like, oh, it's just a budget Dark Souls. Like, why would I play this when I could play Dark Souls? And they don't really give it a chance. Do you get me? And I feel like people need to really go in with like a more open mind to stuff. And like, I'm not saying like, oh, you have to love it, right? But like, it's more like I've seen people dismiss like games within like the first 10 minutes, and it's like you can't really get a feel for a game in like 10 minutes, right?
Or even an hour sometimes.
People's time is precious. That's the problem. There's so many games out there that you can play. Like,
oh yeah, exactly.
Like, do you want to spend time and money on a game that you might not enjoy in the end? You know, like
yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like certain ones like you get more leeway than others, right? But like especially the Souls game, because like Dark Souls is so iconic. Like if it's not Souls, it's trash. Do you get me? It's just like. Give it a tiny bit of a go, you know, like give it a chance. Obviously, Souls is gonna be the more refined one. It's like getting a shooter, right? Like even though like people like Dogpile and COD has like the best shooting mechanics, right? It feels the most satisfying to shoot in it, right? But like there's other ones which have like their own things to it as well, you know. Ryan does do a big thing to actually develop a Souls-like game. It's very expensive, and when something's really expensive, they don't take risks. That's the thing. Yeah. Like if you put in loads of money, it's like, oh, should we like? I feel like that's what that's what can happen with like really expensive things, where like, oh, we don't want to take a risk. We don't want to put in personality. So then it just comes off as stale. Yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah, a board of old people made this. Okay, who probably haven't seen their kids in ages. You know,
the board of directors made this.
Yeah, exactly. And they haven't talked to like a normal plebeian like in ages. Okay, it's like, oh no, we know what you like. Okay, it's like, I don't think you do. You know.
All right, so we're going to watch this together. This one is basically me saying my review, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So it's worth you guys having it queued, and then I'll do like 3, 2, 1, and we'll all watch it together. I will just mention, I know I mention this quite a lot, but it's particularly important on this one. This is literally the first review I ever made. The quality, like the sound quality, the visual, it's awful. Okay, I apologise in advance, but well, just focus on the words that I'm saying, and we'll go from there. So have we all got this queued up and ready to go?
Oh, I'm gonna see Baby Mellar.
You won't see me because this is
a Pringles can, right?
This is before I face revealed. So this is before anyone even knew what I looked like.
I'm expecting the Bandicam logo and everything.
Old.
Yeah. If there's no unregistered hypercam in the corner, I'm gonna cry.
It's 6 years old. It's awful.
It's your boy Mellar on YouTube.
I think I actually said that on one of my reviews. You know? How embarrassing.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Interesting.
Well,
there you go. I did enjoy that. That was good.
Oh my god, he beat it in like a second.
Oh well, I've got a review that I thought I'd go over of Darksiders as while the credits are going up. So when I was recommended the game, I was told that it was basically like Ocarina of Time, but better. So I feel that in all of my interactions with the game, I've been comparing it to that. I have to say overall I disagree. Darksiders is a fun game, and in some respects it was better than Ocarina. The level design was very intelligent, well thought out, and was engaging and really gorgeous. But I don't think there are any people that wouldn't argue that the combat in Darksiders is definitely superior, being engaging and fun and varied throughout the entire game, without all the waiting around that you get in the combat in Ocarina of Time. The story in Darksiders was also really unique and interesting, but I feel that the narrative was also often quite confusing, and the exposition was really light on the ground until much later in the game. If the story had been handled better, I think it could have been a contender to Ocarina, but it falls short because of this. Where the game really falls down though is in the world design, the control scheme, and and the overall difficulty curve, especially in relation to the bosses. Don't get me wrong, the game is really good looking, but the story always tells you exactly where to go next, and doesn't encourage exploration in the slightest, which in a game with such good looking and interesting world just seems like an awful shame. The small part right at the end where you're asked to explore the world to recover the Armageddon blade felt really tacked on, and overall I didn't feel engaged. I think that before that part I only checked the world map once in order to aid navigation, and never went back to it. The in-dungeon maps were so hard to read that they were worse than useless on many occasions, but this is little more than a nitpick. The control scheme was probably one of the worst parts of the game for me. I'm aware that originally the game was designed for console and it was ported to the PC, so really it would have been better if I'd have had a console controller, but the keyboard control scheme really sucked. There were buttons on there that just hindered progress and had no apparent use, like the button for making a wall walk, or the one I think it was B for focusing only on one plane. It's supposed to aid strafing, but really it just almost always caused me to either die or nearly die. Some of the more astute amongst the viewers may have even noticed that I almost never used the Wrath ability during my playthrough, because in order to do that I would have had to take my hands off the main controls and then use the Wrath and then reacquire the normal controls, which normally just cost me more health than it would have saved me. So as a result of that, I was essentially forced to not use one of the major mechanics of the game. Again, I'm not really sure it's a problem with the game, it's just a problem with the PC port. But even then, some of the controls were unresponsive, so I was pushing buttons and sometimes it just wasn't doing what I was asking it to. Finally, I do feel the difficulty curve of the game was completely wonky. Due to the upgrades and the way the character's max health developed through the game, there were several parts in the game where I had a lot of trouble with early on, whereas once I passed about the halfway point of the game, a lot of it felt too easy. And the only parts after that point that felt challenging felt unfairly so. For example, the boss I faced in order to get Ruin, the horse, was so much harder than anything that came before it, or really came after it, and if I hadn't have used the ability where I turn into like a big demon, it probably would have taken me at least 10, maybe more tries. The bosses were the most disappointing aspect of the game, as most of them felt boring and unintuitive, and generally the encounters went on too long, even including the amount of time it took me to figure out how to kill the boss. I would put an addendum on that though, that last boss was amazing. Overall, I did really enjoy Darksiders. It had some really cool and impressive elements with an immersive and beautiful world. But overall, with what I've said in mind, and also a fair number of small glitches and poor world design, I do feel disappointed. The game had a lot of potential to be something truly great, but in the end all it managed was good. With a bit more attention to detail, better bosses and world design, and making exploring something actively encouraged, and better executed story, I do think maybe the game could have rivaled my favourite game. My favourite game, Zelda: The Ocarina of Time. So I know you may feel that I've been a bit biased towards the Ocarina of Time, which in many ways I am. It is my favourite game. But I tried my best there to be as objective as I could and compare the two games, because that's how I was presented the game when someone basically said, oh, you should play this, because they basically said it was like Ocarina of Time but better. If anyone does want to add anything constructive, feel free to comment on YouTube. I've had a lot of fun with this game. It's being an adventure game, which is my favourite type of game. I'm really glad I was able to share this with you guys. I am planning to get Darksiders 2 at some point in the future, but next up will be Tomb Raider, the reboot one that was, I think it's 2013 it came out. So that's going to be my...
Cringe!
It wasn't that bad, honestly. I didn't.
See, after the Breath of the Wild one, right, I disagreed with. I thought I was going to disagree with, but I fully agree. Okay, yeah. Darksiders was amazing, but it felt a bit disappointing. You get me?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a few elements to the game that I really didn't like. I mean, it was before I had one of these like, at all. I didn't own any controllers that I could plug into my PC. So I was forced to play it mouse and keyboard, and the controls were so bad.
I was gonna say it controlled really well on controller.
Yeah, I played also on controller. Had no issues.
And I feel like the keyboard and mouse is like, unless you're playing like a MOBA, it just sucks for everything.
I don't agree with that.
First-person shooters, I think, mouse and keyboard is quite good. There's
very little game say play on keyboard and mouse, and the game gets better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, honestly, the controls are so bad that there's a whole thing, like, if I remember right, it was 6 years ago, where you can like sort of overlord and become stronger. But to activate it, I basically had to take my left hand off the main controls, which meant that by the time I'd sort of push the button and reacquired the right controls, it would cost me more health than it would have done if I just fought it normally. So I just never used a whole mechanic that was made for me, to use.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like on the bumpers or something on the controller.
Yeah, it'd be really easy to reach on a controller, but honestly, like the whole it was not a very good PC port, if I'm honest with you. There was quite a few pretty bad bugs, which I understand from like looking it up. They're only on the PC port.
I never ran into any of them. I'm pretty sure I've played on PC as well.
I think.
Maybe I just got lucky though.
Darksiders 1 was better than Darksiders 2 for that. Darksiders 2, there was some really big bugs. It was actually a game-breaking bug at one point that I had to fix, if I remember rightly. I can't actually remember, but I remember it just wasn't very well made for PC, just in general.
I feel like that's the gamble, right? Like I feel like a load of PC ports are just so half-assed, right? So there's one with like the Crash Bandicoot one, like a port on Steam, right?
Right.
That if you ever play it and you'll notice like people be like, wait, why is there like a weird like pop-in noise? It sends signals to your mic and it turns your mic on and off like really fast. I'm just like, how does this go through? That's actually a thing.
How?
I don't know. Like, I remember playing, like, I was like, oh, we're going to play Crash for the first time. And then everyone's like, wait, why is there a weird popping noise? I was like, wait, what? And then I closed the game and it's like, oh, it's gone. And then I opened up the game and it came back. And I was like, what?
How does that even happen?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. You'd had a patch in and everything to like fix it. It's like,
that's ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, that's wild.
But honestly, with Darksiders, I remember hating the bosses. Apart from the last boss, which was really good fun. Like the bosses were just in general, they were just these really long, like drawn out experiences that just really weren't very fun.
I think they're quite a bit faster if you have access to your wrath abilities.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
I'm pretty sure your like normal attacks are kind of meant to like charge the wrath attacks, and that's like the big damage dealers. So if you take that away from like the whole experience, like it's still the game's fault for having shitty keyboard controls. Like I'll admit to that, but yeah, I never had that issue with bosses running bullet sponges or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe that was the point. That was the problem. Absolutely.
Still the game's fault, I will say. Like, they should have just had better keyboard controls. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty game. It looks really nice. And it's voice acted. So, yeah. Do
you know who the main character is?
War?
No, like the voice actor.
Oh, isn't it the Illidan voice actor?
Yeah, it is. Like, I love that voice actor. He's like, he's got such a badass voice to him.
You are not prepared. Yeah.
Like whenever I just hit, whenever I hear his voice, it's like I know exactly who that is, like straight away.
Yes. Yeah.
I was a massive Blizzard fan, so he's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, ultimately it was kind of. It was a fun experience, but it was a bit disappointing in the end. It wasn't quite all there. A bit like me, really.
How would you give it out of 10?
Maybe a 5.5.
It's really that low?
Is 5 considered like neutral for you?
No, like
oh god.
No,
yeah, that's pretty low.
Anything over about a 3 would be recommended. like play it. Yeah, about 5.5. I think is fair.
So it was all right. It was like a bit lukewarm.
Yeah, a bit lukewarm. I didn't have any like major anything major against it, but I wouldn't have anything major for it either. Like I said, it looked amazing. It was a very pretty game, and the actual combat was really quite satisfying. That was the only thing that I think it really had over Ocarina of Time, because I know that like the point of the review was that I was comparing it to Ocarina of Time, because that's how it was presented to me when I was asked to play it. Because the combat in Ocarina of Time is actually pretty wank.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of it's very much surrounded waiting, like the whole.
It exists.
Yeah, you
yeah, I feel like without crouch jab, like it definitely slows down a ton. Like if you're actually like properly swinging,
yeah,
like I've seen like people play it the first time when they don't know about crouch jab, and it's just like, oh god, it really drags out at times.
It does. I mean, pretty much all of the combat in Ocarina of Time boils down to waiting for things to happen. Like the clams, you have to wait for them to open, and then you shoot your shot. You know, the Stalfos, the Wolfos, you're waiting for them to open, to lower their guard so you can attack them. You know, that's kind of it, really. That is the combat in Ocarina of Time. It's just waiting. Whereas the combat in Darksiders 1 is amazing. You know, you get like almost what feels like full control of your sword. You get all of these like combos that you can do. You know, it's really satisfying to just go towards a group of enemies and slice the shit out of them. You know?
Yeah,
it felt more like an action RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually like. You feel like a certain power fantasy, right? Where you can start the thing instead of being like, oh, I just have to wait for the thing to do something. And like, it's not like start and stopping. It's just like you're just getting into the fight. You're just fighting, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the enemies were varied enough that you had to actually employ a certain amount of strategy to combat as well. But unfortunately, because I felt the game didn't have a very clever difficulty curve. It's actually harder towards the beginning because you don't have all of these upgrades that you naturally get through the game. And then towards the end, it all just became a cakewalk and was way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but it was a decently fun roller coaster at the end, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like satisfying, but like it's not one of those where like, oh, I have to tell everyone. It was just like, that was satisfying, but like that was about it, you know.
What I will say in its defense is it never got boring at any point. I don't think it was boring. It got a little bit eye-rolling.
I felt that as well. Like I was just there. It felt a bit short.
Yeah, a little bit short.
Yeah, the second one was much longer as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but
you know what my weird take is about, like, I think it kind of extends Darksiders 2 as well. Is the parts that I like the least about them was the parts they got from Zelda.
Right.
The puzzle design and the dungeons and stuff were just not as good as a Zelda game, and like what made the game still like, you know, fun to play is, as you said as well, Mellar, like, it's the combat. It's the like, some of the upgrades were pretty good, like, you know, like they felt good to get, but overall the puzzle design was very straightforward. It was very easy. It was mostly just find the ledge that has the switch that you have to pull, and not so much like use an item in an interesting way or whatever.
Yeah, it was just like it's just like, oh, this was in another game. Let's add it to ours to add in variety, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like sometimes you don't need that type of variety. It's like, oh no, it's just a different type of game, you know? It's just like, yeah, but it's not going to appeal to the different people, you know?
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, in the second one, they leaned into the combat way more. Like, they have way more combat stats on, like, your weapons and stuff, and like there was much more RPG elements to it and stuff.
Yeah.
And even in that game, like, I didn't like the dungeons. So like, I feel like they should have just leaned in more to that side, but they wanted to have like an adult Zelda, I guess. Like, that's, I guess, what they were going for.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Do you remember when, like, every single game, like, there was like that one sliding tile puzzle out of nowhere? Like, there was a certain, like, do you know that when you have to like slide tiles? So have you played Resi 4?
No.
So you're playing Resi 4, right? You know the thing, you know, you're placing your shots, you know, like you're gathering like keys and all that. Like you're going through. And then there's one part where there's a sliding tile puzzle. I swear those things are made by the devil. Okay. I spent about 40 minutes randomly moving tiles. Okay. I was just like, you know what? I just want my zombies. I don't want my sliding tile puzzle. I appreciate the zombies waiting for me. I was just like tearing my hair out. Okay.
Could they not have helped you solve the puzzle though?
I mean, they don't have brains, so they're not the best people in the world, you know.
Well, some of them do, because they get the brains that they want, don't they, by eating them?
Yeah, exactly. They're just trying to solve the puzzle as well, you know.
The thing is, I wish that they did more with it. I know Darksiders 3 is more actually towards the combat, and I haven't played it, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But I really like it. It's a shame that the series stopped after the second one, basically, because like the reboot is, I don't think, done by the same people.
There is a Darksiders 3.
Yeah, but like this kind of got shut down, and then like the rights were bought by something else or something. I don't know. There was like a whole thing.
I was
for
there.
A while.
I know that they intended to have each entry to the series to be a slightly different genre.
Yeah, one of the horse riders.
Yeah,
as well.
Well, the horse riders as well, because this one is like basically like an action adventure. The second one is more of an RPG, and then the third one is more Soulsy, I think, is what I've heard.
Yeah, no, they have a top-down one, Genesis, I think it's called.
Oh,
that is
yeah,
the one
the
with
fourth one.
the guns.
In Darksiders 3, that's what I heard. It was like a lot like Souls, like a bit more than the other one. So like it kind of like it. Because the first one played a lot like Devil May Cry with the combat, right?
Yeah.
And then just having it like change to Souls, like it just felt like kind of like trend chasing.
Yeah.
And when you chase a trend, people compare you to that thing, right? It's like with the Twitch update, right? It's not the worst thing in the world, but it looks like TikTok.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing in the world.
I mean, it's terrible. Okay, don't get me wrong. But like, if it didn't look like TikTok, it wouldn't be seen as bad, because of like that. You compare it to TikTok straight away, right?
I've never been on TikTok.
Yeah.
I hate the update. I hate it.
Stay away, okay?
I will.
Stay away, okay?
I've rolled that, all right?
Rizzlers, okay? Like, stay away.
I think ultimately they had this idea to do each entry in the series to be a slightly different genre. I think it's a lovely idea, but I don't think it works in practice, because what happens is people like a game and then a new one comes out in a different genre and they're like, well, this isn't what I liked about the previous game. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
The world. Sorry, what?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Sorry, Gesundheit, I should say. Yeah, the Twitch mobile app. Funny enough,
one thing I love about the Twitch, like the update, is like everyone's in unison of hating it.
Yeah,
It's really bringing people together.
I made a highlight.
It's a community thing. Okay?
I made a highlight of this show of us complaining about the mobile update, and it's got more views than any other highlight I've ever done. That's
so
how
funny.
much everyone hates your update, Twitch. Right, so it's time for Pizza Wars. So here we are. We're gonna have our pizza war here, and Penguin's gonna let us know where he'd like to to put the different toppings. We've got basically the bin. Then it's not delivery, decent stuff, better ingredients, and then the S tier is basically called hot and ready.
Oh, I got you.
And we're going to go through, while we're doing it, we're also going to go through some of the questions and the opinions that have been posted by the viewers through the stream.
Okay.
If I can find them. Right, so just before we sort of start going through them, is there anything out here that stands out straight to you that has to go straight in the top tier, in the S tier?
What if I don't know it?
How do you mean?
Well, I don't know like the taste, because as like a chef, right? I have like, I've got to taste it to really make an opinion. Like I can't really just be like,
it has to go in the bin.
Like kind of like completely catch you off guard. Like an Alfredo sauce, I have no idea
You have to put it in the bin if you don't know what it tastes like.
But chicken Alfredos are meat. I can't do this to my boy.
Yeah, but would it go on a pizza?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Has to go in the bin.
This is just mean. Okay. It's just mean. Oh, extra cheese, by the way. Pull over the top. There was no contention about that.
Oh, that goes straight at the top, does it?
Yeah, of course it does.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Would anyone disagree with that?
I would, absolutely.
Would anyone disagree? If people disagree with that, I think you're Satan incarnate.
As someone who's worked for both Papa John's and Domino's for a sum title of like about more than 5 years, extra cheese is such a rip-off. You spend as much on extra cheese as you would any other additional topping, and it's just like a little sprinkle of extra cheese. It's rubbish.
Don't break my heart now. Okay.
Don't go breaking my heart. I'm sorry.
Can we have extra cheese? Like, can we have just like a load of extras just like put on top so we can have extra cheese, extra cheese?
There's other cheeses on here like feta.
Oh, I don't know. Anchovies, I've never tried on a pizza as well.
Okay.
Artichoke, I don't know how that tastes.
So, what I want to know is, or what Shauno wants to know is, BizHawk, Super Nintendo N64 emulator, yay or nay?
It can have some weird things with the dead zones. Like, it's like when I'm playing like Majora's, obviously I don't emulate it. Like, I don't tell Nintendo. But it like the dead zones can be like, it can make it so like the controls feel a bit jank, but if you look past that, it is perfectly fine. Yeah, no, it's not a bad emulator. I don't dislike it. Dude, on the bottom is the stuff I have. I don't know what it's gonna be.
So what about bacon then? Where are we putting that?
Oh, I would say it's just above decent.
So the better ingredients.
Oh, I would say so.
Well,
it's.
Come.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's quite top, but bacon is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I would go with that. It's like it's pretty good, but there's better meats.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Definitely. What about
peppers are those?
Banana peppers.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't.
Are they just normal peppers?
I don't know.
Oh god, I don't want banana on pizza.
No, they're definitely peppers. They're not bananas, but they're a type of pepper.
I mean, you never know. Okay, it's one or the other. Okay, they like, are you getting bananas or are you getting peppers? You don't know. You know. Wait, Wait, what sauce
That's
is
barbecue
that?
sauce. So Barricade says the question of the day basically is: would you rather go camping or go clubbing? Barricade says camping. It just hits different.
Oh, see, yeah, like camping, you just like you can chill out more and just say like be in touch with nature and all that.
See, I generally I prefer chilling to partying, but I would choose I would choose clubbing.
Oh, see, I just don't like a lot of people in one area. I'm just like, oh, there's just too much going on.
I really don't like either. I've been camping, I've been clubbing. I used to like clubbing. I've never liked camping. So I mean, but I quite like getting drunk.
Like climbing up here, like you just chill it out, and then like a creepy Corey Jim is just like, ooh, hello. Yeah. And it's like, oh no, I don't want to be social. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I quite like being drunk. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, after a few drinks, who cares if I'm clubbing? I don't mind dancing if I've had enough. If I've had enough to drink, I don't care if I make a tit of myself.
Oh. There we go. Barbecue sauce not in the delivery.
So you'll have it, but you're not that keen.
Oh, it just doesn't go. Like I'm not against barbecue sauce, but also I'm not for it. Beef and bell peppers. Like right at the top, absolutely phenomenal. I used to hate peppers, okay?
Yeah.
But I was dumb. They're absolutely fun. Like they have like a bit of like a rich taste to them, like a bit of an aftertaste, which I absolutely adore. I used to hate like herby tastes. Yeah. And, like peppers, like they just give me like that like little oh, that little like tiny flavor to it, you know?
Yeah.
Which I absolutely adore. With buffalo sauce? Is it made by pure buffaloes? If it's not, it's a scam. Wait, what is it?
It's a spicy sauce. It's similar to hot sauce, but with butter.
I would say decent.
Really? That's interesting. Not many people have put that anywhere other than the bin.
Oh, see, I don't know, a tiny bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be against that. I haven't tried it, okay? I might be wrong. I might like try it one day and then it was like, this is the worst thing ever, okay?
Do you like spicy
the
food?
James pizzas, but until then, I'll be like, I'll say it's all right.
Do you,
you know?
Do you like spicy food?
I didn't used to, but it kind of grew on me.
Mm. That's understandable.
It's the same with peppers. I used to absolutely hate the stuff, but now I'm just like I don't know if it's like boomer tendencies taking over. But...
your palate develops, doesn't it, as you get older?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the question of the day, Hats, it's Heckin' Pat says camping. I like nature and don't like people in loud places, which is very understandable.
Perfect. That's a perfect answer.
But Ali says that they'll do both, which is very interesting because I don't know many people that like both camping and clubbing. To be fair,
I mean, you could club then camp outside. I mean, you might get mugged, but like it's fine.
Or told by the police to move along.
It's fine. So, what is Canadian bacon?
I understand it's thicker cut bacon. It's almost like bits of gammon, I think.
It sounds okay.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, dude, like my tolerance of spice is like definitely got a lot better from having the spicy beans on stream.
Right.
See, they're training me, of course.
Developing your palate, darling.
See, they're making me stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just stand a little taller.
Oh, see, I'll put Canadian bacon in the decent.
Yeah.
I'm just going like from pure imagination, cheese only at the top. Okay, I don't know if you'll notice there's a big bias.
Oh, do you feel the same way as me? Because like generally, I wouldn't go for cheese and tomato pizza, but every now and then, it just hits.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just want something basic.
Yes,
like you don't want to
exactly.
be like, oh, I have to deal with all this stuff. You just want something basic. You just want some tomato bread and some cheese, and you're happy.
Exactly, and it just hits perfectly. Yeah. What about chicken then?
Well, I'm not ignoring the dog. Okay, she can't speak English. It's a bit of a problem in interview. You wouldn't say anything.
I'm sure she loves chicken.
Rob, this for you, my boy.
I'll be
there we go.
There for you.
Oh, chicken. Chicken. This might be a bit like I feel like chicken on a pizza normally comes off as kind of bland. But it's gonna be in the better ingredients.
Okay, good. Chicken is literally my favorite thing to put on
chicken would be taste better, but normally when it's cooked, it normally just comes off as a bit more bland than it should. Like chicken should be top tier, but when it goes on a pizza, something happens to the chicken. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to be a juicy boy anymore.
I know what you're saying, but I do think that chicken just generally improves any pizza it touches.
Oh, exactly.
I love chicken and pizza.
Why does it improve pizza as much? I feel like the pizza kind of takes away something from the chicken. It's a bit weird.
Maybe, but I really like chicken on pizza. I think it's made. I do agree actually with the Lighthouse Flame. I think it goes really well with barbecue sauce.
Oh, see, I've never tried that. Maybe I should.
Ooh, give it a go if you've never tried it for sure. It's amazing.
Oh, I think I will.
So
corn. It's at the top, okay?
Oh, interesting. That's another thing that goes quite well with chicken.
Oh, see, that's why I was tempted. But whenever there's corn and chicken, I always notice the corn more than the chicken.
I see.
Yeah. I know it's weird. Like, I don't know if like there's something specifically in my mouth, right? Which is like chicken just loses its flavor. Okay. I don't know. Like maybe it's one of those things, like that whole dress, which is like yellow, or like it's to some people, blue to others. Maybe it's like my tongue. It's like chicken is like either really juicy or it's not. I don't know. I don't know. Wait, what's the next thing?
Feta cheese. Yeah, I'll call this out. Corn is something that is super normal to put on a pizza in the UK, but in the US, it's unheard of.
Wait, is it?
It's completely unheard of. Like
you uncultured swine. I mean nothing. I can't believe this.
But yeah, what would you do with feta cheese?
The better ingredients.
I see.
Cheese will not get below this.
I was going to say, you're clearly a fan of cheese.
Yeah, it's legendary. What do you mean?
Legendary. I need to allow that. There we go. Oh, there's nasty green black olives.
Oh, garlic. Oh. Wait, garlic parmesan. Oh.
Yeah, I think it's basically what you get normally in a dip, isn't it? Garlic parm.
Is that like the sauce at the bottom?
Yeah, like the little dip thing that you get with it.
Garlic pizza. Oh, see, but then if you like, the thing is, okay, a garlic pizza is fine, but then you also gotta think that you're not having a regular pizza, right?
Right.
But then you're eating it, and it's like, I like this, but should I have gone with the other pizza? And then it kind of like degrades it because you're comparing it to like the pro.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh. It's got to go with better ingredients, okay? I can't get garlic any lower, okay?
Oh, that's interesting. What about green olives?
They're not in the delivery at all. Olives, not like... You can live in the bin, okay?
Oh, in the bin. Ah. There we go. What about... I'm going to actually skip. What about black olives?
Put it down there. Okay, put it at the end, okay? But typically at the end.
What about black olives? We'll skip ahead to black olives.
Oh, same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hate olives.
Oh, they're just one of those where like they demand your attention, but it's like that one. Like it's like that one guy in school where you don't want his attention and you want him to go away.
It's true.
You know, it's just like Timmy. I don't want to be rude, but you're a prick. Okay. Green peppers at the top.
Yep.
Wait a minute. What was the other pepper?
It got bell peppers and green peppers for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
There's a green bell pepper.
Yeah.
Wait. Is this like when you have like some sweets, right? And it's just like, oh, I like the green one, but they all like basically taste the same.
Yes. Like Smarties.
I feel like it's one of those situations, right?
Yeah.
Can you put it past the bell peppers? Because I do like green. Okay, they're both the same, but they pick the better color in my eyes. Okay.
What about just standard ham?
Slightly above bacon.
So in hot and ready.
Oh, actually at the top. Actually at the top.
Yeah.
When I'm proper feeling it, I'm proper feeling it. You know, like I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to indulge. It's going to be amazing.
What we get?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. What would you like to do with those?
Jalapenos are very much like if I feel like it, and I don't add in that much.
Right.
Just maybe like one, like it's spread out. So I would say it's not delivery.
That's very understandable.
It depends how I feel. If I would add in like a tiny bit of spice, you know, like spice it up a little bit, you know, like maybe we're gonna like pop those bad boys on, but like not many bad boys. You know.
Fair enough. So this one, it says marinara. This is basically the tomato base.
Oh, marinara. Get that bad boy up.
Right to the top.
Get that bad boy up at the top. There we go.
This is not entirely on topic, but Papa John's or Domino's?
I've never tried Papa John's.
Fair enough.
I heard it's very saucy, and I think I would like that, you know, but I'm not quite sure because, like, they stopped delivering to my area around like COVID time, right? They haven't brought it back, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try it, and then they were just like, you know what? No. I was like, I'll wait for them to come back. Is it like a really saucy pizza?
I would say generally no, but the last time I went to Papa John's, they did oversauce the barbecue sauce, and it was too much.
You can't oversauce it in my body. Okay, you got to be nice and saucy.
Yeah, well, the problem with the barbecue sauce is because it's quite an overpowering, strong sauce. You can overpower tomato sauce.
Is the devil's work.
Yeah, you can overpower the tomato. You can oversauce the tomato sauce. It's not too much of a problem. But if you oversauce the barbecue sauce, it's just a bit too much, to be honest. I mean, we're a bit like
yeah, because it has like that kick to it. But like, if you have too much of the kick, it's like I kind of want to taste the other things. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's quite interesting seeing what people say, sort of Domino's, Papa John's. I love both, honestly. I'm so tempted. Like Domino's, I know someone who works there, so they can get other stuff as well. Like they can add in other stuff. Yeah.
And I haven't had it in so long. Like I haven't had McDonald's in about 2 years as well.
Oh damn.
I'm like, I mean, my body thanks me, right? But my mind doesn't, okay? It says I want to have I want to have a Big Mac sometime, but I'm just like, it's not worth the effort right now.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can order DoorDash and like it'll cost you about 5 times what it's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's just not worth the effort.
Yeah, McDonald's is always a bit of a problem if you don't drive, I find. Unless there happens to be one in like a mall nearby or something.
Oh, see, like, it's kind of like out of the way, but it's not so out of the way that it's not like it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so much out of the way that it's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be a bit spicy, but I think meatballs taste good. But it's gonna be at the lower end of better ingredients. No. It's gonna be indecent, actually. Right. No, it's very borderline because of. They're nice, but they're one of the ones which normally end up being annoying to eat.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Well,
they're one of the ones where, like, you accidentally spill it on the floor and, like, it's like, oh, I meant to give it to Rose. Like, that kind of thing, you know?
You've either got a mouthful of ball or you've not got or you've not got any at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one of the more, like, annoying things to eat on a pizza. It's nice. But annoying, okay?
Yeah. Do you drive, Penguin?
When was that?
Do you drive?
I don't. Like, there's something with, like headlights in my eyes where I just don't feel safe driving.
That's fair.
So it's like, it's one of those things where it's, like, really annoying to get stuff like that, which is why I haven't got, like, any, like, takeaway in, like, so long. No, I got takeaway, okay? That's not a problem. But, like, going to, like, a fast food place like McDonald's or something, I haven't had it in so long, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I go to McDonald's far too much, but I drive there. You know.
Lucky pizza. Mushrooms.
Have you got mushroom on your pizza for it?
I would say it's in better, okay? Because I'm quite the fun guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like everyone makes that joke, right?
It never stops being good, though.
Does everybody make that joke?
Not everybody, but probably more than half.
Also, Mellar, okay, I learned something about mushrooms, okay? Now I was thinking, does it work for the female side, right? And it does. A fun gal. See? See? It's meant to be. See?
Oh dear. What should we do with onions then?
Oh. at the top.
Ooh.
Red onions.
Red onions are amazing.
They added like a little savory taste to it. Like, I feel like a lot of vegetables do that to it. Like, where you bite into it and you taste the sauce initially, then you taste the cheese, and then it mellows out with the vegetables, and it kind of makes an entire it's like an amazing song where the entire sympathy is coming together. Okay, and honestly, I'm just like, this is beautiful. Okay,
how poetic.
It's probably more poetic than it deserves.
I love it.
As you can tell, I'm a bit passionate with food.
Well, as an ex-chef, that I could kind of expect it.
Oh, wait, what's that?
This is pastrami. Now, this is this is a bit of a misnomer because there's all this green stuff, and that green stuff isn't pastrami. It's actually the meat in between it. I understand.
Oh, is it like a lot like salami?
I think it's a bit like salami. My understanding is the closest thing it is jerky. I think it's a little bit like jerky.
Ooh, not on a pizza. No, chuck in the bin.
In the bin. All right. All right. See, then.
And what if if it's a tough? Because I think of jerky and I think of it's really tough, right? And the thing is, I'm texture is a big thing. So if it's annoying to eat, I'm fine. We were doing a pasta thing before, right? And spaghetti is the worst pasta out there because it is annoying to eat. Okay, I swear you spin it around in your fork. It's like, oh no, it can't go anywhere. It's like Fort Knox up in there, right? And then it slips out everywhere. Okay, it's on your shirt. It's on your lips. Okay, and honestly, it just wasn't worth the effort. Bolognese going everywhere. It's like, just give me a good penne.
Apparently, it's not pastrami. It's pastrami. This is a typo on the tier list.
Who could eat pizza faster? I feel like when it comes to pizza, I'm a bit of an expert, okay, from experience. A bit too much experience, but it's fine.
I don't tend to eat pizza particularly quickly. I tend to try my best to savor the experience.
Do you roll it up?
Oh,
or
God,
on the crust?
No.
What do you mean?
You can't roll it up. Well, if you want to roll it up, just eat a calzone.
No. When you grab the crust and you put it in a V shape, okay?
No.
And it's easier to eat.
No, use both hands. That just solves the entire thing.
Both hands. Next, you're gonna say knife and fork, and I'm gonna think this is all a mistake.
No, knife and fork. When I was in China, I went to Papa John's in China, and they serve it with a knife and fork. And that was weird.
That's wrong.
But then the pizza was weird as well. We had a surf and turf. On one side it had prawns, and the other it had peas and sweet corn.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's the only time I've ever had peas on.
Remind me never to go wherever you went. I feel like it's one of those things where they kind of told them that. It's like, oh yeah, this is how you eat it. It's like KFC in Japan, right? Where they they think, oh, you have KFC for Christmas. Oh yeah, trust me, you know, giving a nudge on the shoulder. It's like, this is how we eat it. Trust me, okay? You should I'm an expert, okay? See, I would love to do that. Go to go to some uncharted area and just tell them oh yeah, we eat all this weird stuff. Trust me, and just be giggling in the corner. God, they're actually doing it.
We put crabs on our pizza.
Exactly.
All right, I think this. What are we doing with pepperoni then?
Oh, I used to not like pepperoni. Okay. But it's got to be in the top end of the better ingredients.
Oh.
Now, it's on borderline. It's very borderline. It is slightly into the hot and ready. But it just slips out. Or just a tiny bit.
I see.
Because when it gets compared to beef, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, the thing I think
it just doesn't hold up.
The thing with pepperoni, because like quite a lot of these ingredients, like beef, and like you'd eat these in other things, wouldn't you? Like green peppers, bacon. You'd have like a bacon roll or something. You'd put chicken with anything. But pepperoni feels like something that only really exists on pizza, doesn't it? Really? Like
yeah, you don't really hear about it anywhere else.
Exactly. You don't really get pepperoni elsewhere, hardly at all. You know.
Oh, but it's good.
It is good on pizza.
No,
though.
put it on the hot ready. Put it on the edge. Okay, you're selling me, okay? You're making me realize, okay? It doesn't have much uses, but the use it has, it's doing it well.
Apparently pepperoni is nice in omelettes. I'd love to try an omelette with pepperoni in it. I bet that'd be nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you're going to do that, I think it'd be more of a bacon or a ham kind of thing in an omelette, right?
Well, I mean, bacon would be
I don't know.
vastly different experience than pepperoni, I would imagine, in an omelette.
Actually, that could work because it's a bit of a savor meat, like savory meat. Oh, I'm trying to think of like if I was eating it, like what was like the cocktail, or like what would be the overall like. Oh, yeah, I think it would be amazing.
For
honestly.
Sure. We're gonna do the big one now. Are you ready? What are we gonna do with pineapple?
Is this I totally asking for a friend? Is this a non-judgmental stream full of very understanding people and we don't think anything less of people for having unorthodox takes?
I can promise that I won't judge, but I can't promise for chat.
Pineapple, put it just above peppers at the top. Okay.
Really?
Phenomenal. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I absolutely adore it. Okay. Like,
fair enough.
It's super unorthodox, but it's one of those. It's like a wild card, you know. Like you just like, oh, pizza's getting boring. You pop on a pineapple, different experience. Okay. It is phenomenal. Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I could be burned at the stake for this, but it's fine.
What about?
I'll go down a mortar. No, a martyr. Martyr.
You'll be a martyr with a mortar. You'll be shot with a mortar.
Exactly. Even more dangerous.
more danger with a mortar. More mortars, please. More. Oh. Never mind. What should we do with pork? Just normal pork. Whatever that is.
See. Normally it would be like if you cook pork, doesn't it become bacon?
No, I don't think so. Bacon's a certain part of the pig, right?
Would it be bacon? Like you can't. This is like a toast and bread situation, you know.
I mean, if you put it in an oven, then it would be bacon.
Yeah, but like, what is it like raw pork? You know, you just like put Miss Piggy on top. You know, like Kermit's just looking on in like horror. You know.
If you're not sure, we can just put it in the bin.
It's gonna go with bacon because I'm convinced that two are the same. Okay, they're trying to lie to me and be like, oh, they're two different people, but like I feel like they're just the same person. You know, it's like a Superman and whatever the other guy was called. They're the same guy. Oh, trust me, we're different. No, I'm on to you, my boy. I don't know what ranch is.
I think we call it Thousand Island dressing in the UK. I think it's the same. I'm not sure.
That's even more confusing.
Oh, you don't know that one either?
I don't know.
I will put it in the bin then. That's fine.
Oh. I think you have to. I think I've tried ranch.
Oh,
but I just don't know because I don't think of it being called ranch.
It tastes the same to me, but maybe I'm wrong, Charter.
Oh, ruin it. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so salami, it's got to go with bacon.
Oh.
It's got to go like the same thing as bacon. It's okay.
Right.
Like, I would consider all those like very, very samey to me. Do you get me? The hell is that?
You don't get much ranch in the UK, it's true.
Wait, what's the first one?
What? This is sausage?
Wait, sausage?
Sausage?
Oh, sausage. Okay, I thought it was like some Russian word. Okay, I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Da, this is sausage.
I thought it could be like bear or something. Do people eat bears?
I hope not.
It'd be barely an issue. I'm sorry. Sausage.
Yeah.
At the top.
Ooh.
At the top.
Well, even better than beef.
No. At the end. Okay. Next to pepperoni. Okay. No.
Okay.
Extra cheese is the king. Okay.
Right.
Extra cheese is even better, but that wasn't an option. I want an entire farm supply of cheese on top of my pizza, please.
I'm just imagining like a thin crust pizza just with cheese that goes up like this.
Yeah, honestly, I would give it a go. I mean, my heart probably wouldn't want to do that, but it's perfectly fine. You take risks in life, you know.
Oh my god! So where should we put scallions then?
Scallions.
What do we call them? Spring onions.
I don't know. Is that a thing which goes on pizza?
I've never had spring onions on pizza. I've had ostrich on pizza.
Spring onion isn't bad.
Yeah.
I'd put at the end of better ingredients. It's a very I'm trying to work out what that would taste like.
It'd probably be quite fresh and nice, I would imagine.
Yeah, it'd be like a herby taste, right? I put at the end of hot and red. I know that's getting very crowded right now, but I'm a big fan of pizza.
Yeah, this is the fullest that hot and ready I think has ever been. Spinach.
I love a herby taste. Okay, when it ends off and it ends with a herby taste to it. It just finishes off an amazing experience. Or spinach. I feel like spinach is it tastes good, but it's more about it can just be a bit messy. It can just go a bit everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can definitely feel you there.
So the top end of decent stuff.
Yeah.
It would be better, but the only thing is, it's it's more of if I say a faff, right? Do you understand what that means?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's the word I use a lot.
I don't know if I should use British words. It's a bit of a faff to eat, you know? It's a bit of a tiny bit of a pain.
Yeah. 100%.
Is that steak?
Yeah, have you ever had steak on pizza? Because nobody apart from me seems to have.
Oh, I don't think I have.
I definitely recommend you try if you ever get the opportunity, because it's good.
I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the hard. I know this is sounding a bit like a broken record, but the two left, okay, at the top.
Oh, fresh tomatoes as well.
Phenomenal, okay.
Fresh tomatoes goes in hot and ready.
Yeah, exactly. Tomatoes are amazing.
I don't know many people who put fresh tomatoes in hot and ready. That's
one thing
insane.
I do. Okay, I keep whenever I'm getting a salad, right? I'm just I'll buy some cherry tomatoes. I won't eat them. It'll be fine. And I keep eating them like popcorn.
That's amazing.
I don't know why. I can't get enough of tomatoes.
Well, that's finished then. So we've actually got quite a lot in hot and ready. We've got extra cheese, beef, pineapple, green peppers, bell peppers, cheese only, corn, ham, the tomato sauce, onions, pepperoni, sausages, scallions, steak, and tomatoes. And in the bin, Alfredo sauce, anchovies, artichoke, basically all the
To be fair, all of this, besides olives, is I don't know.
Yeah. Olives are gross, though. I'm with you there.
Oh, yeah, olives just shouldn't exist. It's like James Corden.
But I hate anchovies as well. I've had those by accident on pizza once, and
yeah, wouldn't they be really salty?
Really salty. It's just a little concentrated salt in. Oh, it was horrible. It was
I feel like I could enjoy if I was really feeling it. If I was feeling for something really different, I could understand maybe, but it won't ever be normal. Okay.
No, it's just too salty. Honestly, it's little...
yeah, it's one of those where it's just pure salt. it's like being in a league lobby, you know, like you just like pure salt, like it.
That is amazing. That's a very good Pizza Wars. So thank you very much for that. Go on.
Honestly, like I can just talk about food for ages.
I bet you can.
Tiny bit of a problem at times, but it's like,
ex-chef. I mean, I'd expect nothing less.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably a show. How do you feel about that? Are you happy
I'm
with
not
how it
gonna
went?
lie to you, I was a bit nervous, but it's one of those things where like it's just talk, right? Like I don't like to make like a script. Like obviously you mentally prepare yourself, right? But like, I don't want to make like a script because I don't want it to be like, oh, this is corporate speak, right? Like the worst thing I hate like is corporate speak. But honestly, this was a really fun experience, and like, thank you for like giving me a really pleasant afternoon.
Oh, thank you as well for likewise. It's been good.
Hey, it was a bunch of fun. Plus, I get to talk to aMannus. Honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, please do, if you haven't already, follow everyone you see on screen, including, of course, aMannus. We've obviously, our deets are here, there, and everywhere, but also if you just type twitch.tv/ and then the name, then that will work. Follow us all. We're all good, especially those two, not so much me.
Honestly, the time went by so fast. It was kind of insane.
Yeah, I can't believe that we've been live for what, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, I was thinking like
4.5 hours.
Like a chat thing. I was like, oh god, is it gonna feel like it's gonna drag like near the end or what? Like, but honestly, it didn't drag at all.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it's been 4.5 hours. That's insane. Thank you so much.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you everyone for watching. We will see you soon. Bye for now.
Have an amazing time, everybody. I know.
Chattisfying.